I'm just fine as long as people know my feelings.
Let's see how you feel when Breath of the Wild is number 3 and Nier Automata is number 4.
We are rolling. Yeah, he's got something typed up. Here we fucking go.
You have 80 seconds to talk about the new Star Wars.
80 seconds? Why 80 specifically?
You have 70 seconds to talk about the new Star Wars.
Spoilers or no?
No spoilers.
Okay, I really liked it. Neve, you really loved it, didn't you?
I loved it. I thought it was
Brian,
great.
why are you lying about your opinion of Star Wars?
No, I really liked it.
You told me you didn't like it.
I was let down by it, but I liked it.
You were
Wow,
let down?
this is completely different to what I'm hearing.
Yeah, we talked about this yesterday. I liked it, but I didn't love it.
I loved it, like 100% totally loved it.
You liked all the decisions that were made in that
Every
film.
decision that was made I felt was it's a good forward march for Star Wars. This is what it should be. This is looking to the future. This is change.
I liked 66% of the decisions that were made in that film. The other 33%, I really rolled my eyes so hard that they detached from my retina.
Wow. I think...
Brian, can I read out a message you sent me after seeing it?
Yeah, sure.
Honestly, I thought it was fucking stupid.
Yeah. But it's Star Wars, like, it's always fucking stupid. That's not anything new.
I thought it was really sincere and kind of a really powerful future message, and it gave a lot of stuff for the fans, but not in a very
Welcome to the Let's Fight a Boss Game of the Year episode. We have in front of us 41 games that we will cut our way through till one stands and has a throne of dead bodies. Which one will it be? Will it possibly be Destiny 2? Oh, can you imagine?
Did you just pick that at random?
Yeah, I did.
Jeez.
So, guys, welcome to the Let's Fight a Boss Game of the Year episode. This is our annual Game of the Year podcast, our third that we've ever had. And the way this works is we have 3 subcategories, which is Biggest Shit Show, Best Character, and Best Old Game. And then once we get through that, we have a list of 41 games, and we're going to go around the table and cut them one by one till we have the official Let's Fight a Boss Game of the Year. So, how are you guys feeling about this?
I'm already fucking mentally exhausted.
Yeah.
Is there rules? Is there any gameplay rules we have to follow here?
There's some loose rules.
Okay.
So, you can veto someone else's cut. And it's not like a hard and fast veto. Mm-hmm. You guys talk it over. But then if you stick by it, you can get them to pick something else.
Okay.
But it's kind of like... The way I look at it is I think each of us only have a certain amount of vetoes. And there's no hard number on it. But if one of us keeps trying to veto someone else, that's going to limit their power later on in the game. Because it's like, well, no, look, you've already had your way with this, this, and this. You can't have your way with this.
Can I cut a deal with someone?
Deals are encouraged and necessary.
Yep.
Okay, I'm just getting the tone of this down.
Yep. So if you've never heard one of our Game of the Year discussions before, we're probably going to fight because this is a system sort of designed to make us fight. And that happens every year. But it's okay.
It's not going to happen this year.
Oh, you don't think there's going to be any fights this year?
No, I told you, I'm coming in with truth and integrity on my side.
You're going to get destroyed, Neve. Jesus.
I'm already dressed to fight. I have...
Brian looks amazing right now. He has a towel wrapped around his head because that's how serious he is about this.
And I'm cuddling a plush of a chicken.
Yep. Every part of that's true.
And I'm drinking wine out of a cup.
Yeah, I'm drinking a little wine. But, so why don't we get started with our first category? Let's go for Best Character. Neve, do you want to read out the nominees?
Baiken, Goro Majima, 2B, Suki,
Yep.
Baek, Mugman, 9S, Master Raven, Makoto, and Ryder.
Neve, would you like to make a cut?
Are we? Oh.
We got to bring it down to a top 3 and we'll pick from that.
Mugman.
Mugman! If Cuphead had just listened to Mugman, that whole incident could have been avoided.
I don't know why you didn't put just Cuphead down there. That seems
because Cuphead's bold and he gambles and he drinks and he shouldn't.
And Mugman actually helps him out.
Mugman is a good man and a good friend.
Okay, who do you want to get rid of?
I mean, look, I'll get rid of Mugman, but I just want to be known what a cool guy he is.
He's sound.
He is sound. Brian, who isn't sound?
Who's Master Raven?
She's from Tekken. She's the Raven skin.
Bye.
Fair.
Okay.
I love Master Raven. I think she's cool.
Ryder.
Ryder's...
I got this.
Yeah. Okay, bye, Ryder. Suki, like, why is she still here?
Okay, Suki, aka Dahlia from Xenoblade 2. You guys should Google Dahlia or Suki.
Brian put her on the list. Just Google Suki Xenoblade 2.
This is when you see an anime character with big boobs and you think that's really, really stupid. But then you see Suki and your brain just falls out of your head and just buries itself underground and goes, nope, not today.
So she's gone, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, but she's a better character than Mugman.
I did not expect one of my precious little guys to be under attack like this so early on. We have such a long night ahead of us. Just leave him alone. And Brian, make a cut.
Bayek
Ugh.
from Assassin's Creed Origins.
I think he might be one of the best Assassin's Creed characters.
That's
okay.
the best one.
That's really cool. Like, that's like saying he's your favorite fascist dictator or something.
Oh my god.
Like, who the fuck cares?
Unless you want to make an argument for him, Neve.
Is he hot?
Yeah, he's really hot. When you first start the game, he has a beard, which is cool, and some longer hair. He gets clean shaven, which his hot wife shaves him in a cutscene. It's a really cool scene. He is really funny.
Is he?
Yeah, he's surprisingly funny for someone who's also super serious and kind of dour.
I watched a fair bit of like Let's Plays, and he seemed serious, but it's cool if they gave him a sense of humor.
Yeah, he has a bit of a sense of humor, and he'll joke with people. He seems nice with kids. Like, he's a really nice guy. But cool. Like, he's this perfect level of brooding Assassin's Creed hero, but nice.
Is he better than anyone else we have left? Is he better than Biken from Guilty Gear, Goro from Yakuza, or 2B?
Get rid of Goro.
Absolutely not.
I'll
fucking fight. Like, John. I will actually fucking fight you.
Goro's a good lad.
Did you get to the Goro cutscene, Neve?
No.
That's why.
I thought the game was too boring.
It gets better, don't worry. It's a bit slow to start.
I'll take Bayek.
Alright, let's go Biken.
I mean, sure. She's great. She's kind of old, and it takes her ages to stand up.
She's got fantastic animation in Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2.
Yeah, she looks awesome. Really, really good.
She's great. So we've already caught Master Raven and Raider.
So I guess Goro Majima wins.
No, we have Makoto from Persona 5. I'm going to call her next.
Yep, totally.
She was my waifu on my playthrough of Persona 5. I really, really liked her character. One of my favorite moments with Makoto is when she is stalking the protagonist, but she does it by being about 20 meters away from him and pretending to read Shonen Jump while her eye line is clearly above the book, staring at you.
So good. That was really
I thought that was really, really funny, especially because she's such a kind of studious character who takes herself way too seriously. To have kind of like goofy moments like that with her was very fun.
Yeah.
I love her design. I totally saw her and the main character as a couple. I just thought they looked like a hot couple. They look fantastic.
I agree. I really like Makoto as a character for all those reasons.
Yeah, I really like as well when she's in her battle gear and she's kind of like girl with dragon tattoo, but she's in like, and she's got the motorbike and everything.
The Pope motorbike.
Yeah,
that was deadly.
And she's got a cool scarf and she has knuckle dusters. I really liked everything that she had going on.
So I guess Goro Majima wins then.
No, we have the Nier characters. We have 2B and 9S. So Neve, which one spoke to you more?
I think just in terms of character being a video game icon, 2B.
2B's
over 9S.
Yeah, 2B's super iconic. Like, I really see a long future ahead of her in terms of figures.
And cosplay, just like, she's going to be one of those designs that we're going to see in
She's definitely like,
from now on.
She's like, I think, the most iconic looking games character this year, for sure.
Yeah, I think so. She's super cool.
I'd get rid of 9S then and keep 2B.
But then 9S...
You want to give 9S a little eulogy?
Yeah, he has a really, really good story arc.
Oh, but we're not there yet. This is just like, he's like, yeah, like, I mean, he does, but it fits into a wider narrative. I like 9S a lot, but 9S, you know, I feel like 2B represents that game more than 9S, but I really like his design and I like him.
Yeah, as someone who wears shorts most of the year, I really, really like 9S.
He's cool.
I like what he's got going on.
Okay. Here's my arguments for why I think Goro should get over 2B. I feel like 2B is cool. I feel like, though, 2B in isolation isn't really, like, that much of a character. Like, I feel 2B's story is way more intertwined with, like, the events of Nier and the themes of Nier and everything else that happens in Nier. I think, like, as a personality, her personality doesn't have that much to do with it. Like, I couldn't tell you what kind of person 2B is.
Okay, but
exactly.
But let's talk about Goro Majima.
Yeah.
The pros of Goro.
So, what I love about Goro Majima, and specifically Goro Majima in Yakuza 0, is you know what Majima's like. Like, in Yakuza 1, he's like just this wacky, crazy guy. And that's like his thing. He's like the bad guy. He's Kiryu's Vegeta, except he's really silly. And when you meet him at the start of Yakuza 0, he's not like that at all. He's like a really professional, like studious, like manager of this cabaret bar.
Yeah, he's got a very well composed disposition about him. He's very, very calm.
And so you watch through the entire game as he goes from that into like the mad dog that he's at the start of Yakuza 1, and it's like believable and sad and funny, and it's so fucking good. And like, he was definitely the character this year that like affected me the most. I really loved Goro Majima. I thought he was a great character.
I really like Goro Majima as well. I haven't played Yakuza 0. I've watched my girlfriend play 4 Yakuza games so far this year. We are a huge Goro Majima household. He's a big fucking deal at home.
And also, like, I like Majima better than I like Kiryu, and I love Kiryu.
Yeah, Kiryu's really, really cool. But you know how, I guess, people like the Red Ranger, but then like there's something cool about the Black Ranger or something cool about the Blue Ranger. Goro Majima kind of is a mishmash of every other kind of character bouncing around or playing off the main character.
Yeah, and it was cool to see him, like, I feel like that game is more his story than Kiryu's, and it's amazing to get to see him take center stage like that.
And this is the first time he's been properly playable in a Yakuza mainline game, because he was playable in the Dead Souls game, but he's always been an NPC story character in the previous games.
Yeah.
And usually you have to fight him as a boss battle, but it's like a friendly boss battle.
And it's usually kind of a wild card in the story, so it was interesting to see him, like,
and I think usually in the fan polls he is number 1 before Kiryu, just because he's just so wild. He's just an odd dude, and I'm always curious about what he's going to do next.
Yeah, me too. He's a consistent joy, that character. But Neve, you think 2B should win?
I think you're right in saying that 2B outside her story doesn't mean a lot apart from the iconography of her, like of what she looks like as a character in gaming. And I think that's a service to Nier as a full experience and narrative. And I can see why, just playing a little bit of Yakuza 0, that Goro would stand out as kind of an amazingly vibrant character when he gets there, or just an interesting story. Because I think Yakuza is more made up of his characters rather than the entire narrative and what it is.
I think, like, in a way, they're kind of like, they are very counter-intuitive experiences, because I think you could watch most of the Yakuza cutscenes and get a good 70% of the experience, honestly. I don't think the same applies for Nier. It's kind of interesting comparing them, because I think you have to play Nier.
Yeah, so I think if we were focusing on character, and if that's what we're really focusing here as an individual thing, because I haven't played a lot of Yakuza 0, I've only played the like first opening hour or so of it. the power of Majima as a character online and seeing him, it's kind of, I get a sense of who he is. Where even when I'm looking for 2B artwork on the internet, you don't, the way she's shown to the like world, you don't get a sense of her narrative or in her story, and I think removing her from that is a disservice to 2B, but I think it might be a service to Majima. And yeah, I'd let 2B go for Majima to win that one.
I think there's a way to describe Majima without describing him physically.
I think there's a way to describe Majima without describing what happens in Yakuza 0.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's a way to describe 2B without what happened in Nier.
Yeah.
That said, like, I think the stuff it does with 2B and her character is fascinating. Like, there is a lot of stuff in there, but to me, it's so much more. Like, to me, 2B is more of a boon to Nier overall than Majima is to Yakuza overall, if that makes sense.
I would see... No, I think Majima would be like the big boon to Yakuza versus the other. I think 2B is part of like... What is 2B compared to A2 or 9S?
Yeah,
Not
guess so.
much, you know what I mean? They're about the same. And like her story is sad and tragic and beautiful, but like I think it's within the confines of itself. Like you do need to experience that, where I think I can experience a lot of Majima outside of Yakuza.
That's kind of what I mean.
Yeah, okay, so we're in agreement with that.
We're in
so
agreement.
then, do you not? So Majima kind of takes best character then.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too.
Majima, you win the best character for the Let's Fight a Boss 2017 Best Character Award. Congratulations.
You mad dog, you.
Yes, excellent. Okay, next up, let's go for Best Old Game.
Here we go.
Brian, do you want to read out the nominees?
Okay, we have Lisa the Painful, which came out 3 or 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. We have Nier, which came out almost a decade ago.
Jesus.
We have Titanfall 2, which came out 1 year ago, but we didn't play it until January of this year, or until about the first half of this year. And we have Nidhogg, which came out about 3 or 4 years ago as well. Do we have anything else to add?
Minecraft.
And Minecraft. Switch. Minecraft for the Switch. Because why the fuck not? So that's 5 games there. I'm going to work our way...
Okay. We're gonna cut 2, then we're going to make some decisions. Brian,
Okay.
you go for the first cut.
Alright. I absolutely love Nidhogg, but I'm going to cut it.
Sure. I had played an evening of Nidhogg with you and Walt. That was fun.
Yeah. Shout out to Walt. He did very good.
Cut Minecraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's still Minecraft.
Yeah.
It kind of gets worse the more you play.
Oh, really?
Well, just you get worse.
And the guy who made it is a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, Minecraft.
I'm going to cut Nier.
Whoa, really?
Well,
He's gunning for another game.
I can't cut Titanfall 2 because I haven't played it, and you two seem to love Titanfall 2, and I don't think that's an argument I'm winning right now. But if it's my choice between my 2 children, Lisa the Painful and Nier, I prefer Lisa the Painful. And so I'd be cutting Nier. It's a fucking fantastic game. If I did like a top 5 list of just overall games I'd play this year, Nier would absolutely be on it. But I don't think it's going to be Titanfall 2, and in like the personal effect it had on me, Lisa, it just about edges it out.
Do you have anything to say about Nier?
I played that when it first came out. I really, I loved it. I loved it as an RPG, but it didn't stand out to me as anything particularly crazy, because there was a lot of crazy... there was just a lot of other crazy games out there. Like same with Drakengard. I love that game, but it's not so mad. It's mad enough. But it stuck with me, but not in the way I think you responded to this, Nier.
Nier really hit me very, very hard in a way I totally was not expecting it to. And I really loved the characters. I loved Emil, I loved Kaine, I loved Nier. I really loved Kaine. She was great. And I went and I read the side stories for her and everything because I just thought she was so cool. And I just feel like there's such, and Vice as well, those 4, they're such a weird ragtag crew. But I felt like the cutscenes and dialogue between them was so believable and just really amazing. And then the bigger reveals in Nier hit me really hard as well. Like, part of why I think part of the reason I wasn't into Automata, as some people, was I loved Nier so much and I was expecting a similar experience, but I think they're very different experiences.
Yeah, no, I really think they are. Like, I really enjoy this game as well.
I don't think it plays as bad as people make out that it does. I really don't. But with that in mind, I'm happy to see it go on number 3, best old game. Neve.
Well, I'd go for Titanfall over Lisa the Painful, just in general.
Wait, you want Titanfall to be number 1? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, same. But that's because I've played Titanfall 2. I haven't played Lisa the Painful.
I'm the only one who's played Lisa the Painful, and that's another game where, like, it had a really personal experience on me, and it's not something I feel like I can argue is just better than Titanfall. I just know that I would probably like it better, and so I'm happy for that to go at number 2, because I'm not burning my credit fighting for Lisa the Painful, which neither of you have played.
I feel like I would, like, with Titanfall 2, it does some really cool stuff when you port through the world.
Yeah, I love, like for me, Titanfall 2 is the closest we'll get to Half-Life 3.
Yeah.
The story mode of Titanfall 2 has so many great ideas. It just has these set pieces where it'll have a mechanic, and it'll use that mechanic for that one set piece, which is something that Half-Life 2 also did. Pretty short campaign. It's like 6 hours if you burn through pretty fast, 8 hours if you're kind of going at your own pace. I played it in one day on Christmas Day last year.
That sounds great.
It was fantastic. It was a lovely experience. I love the campaign of that first-person shooter game. And I'm not a big first-person shooter fan. I'm not a big sci-fi fan. But I just thought there was so much imagination and enthusiasm for all the different mechanics of the game.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, what you guys have told me about Titanfall 2, I really like. Like, I think it sounds like something I will definitely play at some point.
There's a really cool part in it when a whole level is literally made out of rooms that are being put together modularly. So you just starts off as a blank floor and a couch is being put in and like stairs are being put in and they're all moving through the factory and you're moving on top of the pieces. It's a really cool way to just move you through a world that I've never seen done before.
I love it when first-person shooters aren't warehouse explorers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's some great boss battles as well when you're fighting other enemies and their titans. You have a cool relationship with your titan. There's a great bit where your player character gives him a thumbs up, but he kind of gives him a thumbs up because he doesn't know what else to do, and he kind of does it by accident. He's just kind of like, he kind of fucks up and just gives him a thumbs up, but the robot just gives him a thumbs up back, and it's really sweet. There's a bit where, like, there's one bit in the game, well, probably the most famous bit is the time traveling bit. That is fucking amazing. That feels like you are in, like, that you have a JoJo stand that belongs to, like, the final boss of a JoJo arc, and you can just do whatever the fuck you want.
So you're moving through the past, and there's one stage where the future is on fire, so fire is completely, like, taking over exits, so you're flicking in between two different realities to move through a level. But
then there's another bit where in the future there's, or sorry, in the present there's a lot of vegetation all over the factory, or well, not a factory. I guess it's like
it's an office space or something.
Yeah, like it's like a weird office facility, but it's got like plants everywhere. But there's also like alien jungle cats.
Yeah. Okay.
And they're super aggro, and they'll start attacking you. But when you go into the past, you alert all the guards, and they'll start attacking you too. And you have to juggle between attacking enemies in the past and enemies in the present, and you have to sneak up behind them. And it's really, really, really fun keeping track of both of them.
That sounds like the best old game of 2017.
Woo!
I would agree.
Yeah. Totally.
And the online is pretty good as well.
Good stuff. I'll just give like very quick eulogy to Lisa. That's my favorite game I played this year. Like, I like that better than anything else I've played this year. Amazing story, incredibly sad and troubling, and just really beautiful. People should play that game. But Titanfall 2 is the Let's Fight a Boss best old game 2017.
Congratulations, Titanfall 2.
Congratulations, Titanfall 2.
Woo! It's a shame we didn't get to play in 2016 because you would have like placed super high.
That would have made that an interesting final discussion.
Honestly,
do you think it would have beat Overwatch?
No.
No, it wouldn't have beaten Overwatch, but it would have beaten Deus Ex, which was like number 3 or 4.
That's because you guys were asleep at the wheel.
Yeah.
How do you do these and you're not asleep at the wheel by the end? Although I guess you weren't.
Nice, snuck it in.
Okay. Our final subcategory of the evening, the honorable Let's Fight a Boss biggest shit show. This is specifically for games that had disastrous PR runs this year. We don't count things like we were talking before about, like, I guess, the weird, bizarre non-outrage about Cuphead, the thing that Sean did a video on, which was like people getting angry that people were calling Cuphead racist and ableist, even though no one actually was. And that was a thing. So honorable mention to that. But the actual candidates are EA Star Wars Battlefront loot boxes, Shadow of War Memorial DLC, Mass Effect Andromeda, Pokemon Go Festival. I will make the first cut, and I think I'm going to go for Pokemon Go Festival. And I think it speaks to what a disastrous year this was that I could put that in front of these others, because that was such a train wreck. People should look up, like, I think, did Crowcraft do a compilation, or was there just other compilations?
There's definitely other compilations. I don't know if he did one.
I don't think he did, but
This was organised by Niantic,
yeah,
who are the developers of Pokemon Go, and they rented out a big space. I think it was in Chicago. It was an outdoor venue with a big tent on top, and they were encouraging everyone to connect to their Wi-Fi that did not work. They had a bunch of people up on stage who were Pokemon Go YouTubers that nobody knew who the fuck they were.
They had more subscribers than I did, and I was like, what the fuck is reality?
Jesus.
I know.
Did you check that?
I just was like, well, who are these guys? Because I was curious, and then it was like 500,000 subscribers, and I was like, wow.
The poor woman on stage trying to keep that afloat.
She was trying her best.
She did a good job
Yeah.
as awful as that whole shit show was.
She was so good at like keeping people calm in a building that's on fire.
People had flown in from Australia and
Yeah.
places, but it's kind of like, what are you doing though as well?
So the only reason like I cut this first is because this was something that happened and then it was over. Whereas everything on this list was just a continuous like train wreck.
Sure.
And Niantic did kind of try and compensate people as much as possible.
Yeah.
It seemed like a one-day bullshit event, but it was nicely compacted to that single day.
Neve, what are you thinking?
I guess Mass Effect Andromeda. Just cut it. Although I think that's that's a symptom of a larger EA narrative.
Yeah, but we
Yeah.
can...
But yeah, I think we can cut Mass Effect.
Do you think
Andromeda.
Mass Effect Andromeda beats the Shadow of War Memorial DLC? Because I feel like Mass Effect Andromeda killed the biggest gaming franchise of the last generation.
I'd probably cut Shadow of War before I cut Mass Effect.
I think so.
Andromeda.
I think the Shadow of War thing was just because like it was such like the idea of it was so like generally a good idea, and the way they chose to do it was, again with the loot boxes, was just a money grabbing way to do with someone who died.
Yeah.
Where the Mass Effect Andromeda thing, yeah, it buried a franchise.
I think
But like
the
this
Memorial loot box is ethically worse.
Yeah.
Like I think that's disgusting. But I think in terms of like a pure disaster, I think Andromeda was worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd probably put Andromeda at number 2.
Okay, I get you. No, I think you're right.
I know people were able to beat that game, but they had to beat it like grating their teeth.
I finished it. It was probably the worst game I've played in a long time.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, so just it's a shitty game.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Shadow of War Memorial DLC.
It's number 3.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any question in anyone's mind what the biggest shit show is this year. Like, the Memorial, for as bad as the Mass Effect Andromeda Memorial DLC was, EA fucked up so badly in a video game that the government had to intervene.
Disney were so pissed. They've really just like fucked something in gaming as well. Like, this is going to just... The reverberations of this is going to be felt for a really long time. I don't think we've even
seen them yet.
Yeah.
You know how there's so many moms who are just like, video games are bad for you? Mm-hmm. Now they're actually right.
Yep.
Because mom's credit cards are like being like skimmed for gambling, essentially.
But it's like, it's a serious pandemic. Like, we had the Counter-Strike Go stuff this year, the gambling with that.
Oh shit, yeah. Those two YouTubers who were exposed, right?
Yeah.
Fuck.
And just every game EA put out.
Yeah, like I kind of want this award to go to just EA.
Yeah.
Because they have been disastrous.
Yeah. I really, really didn't like what they did with that game that Visceral were making, the Star Wars standalone adventure game.
That was terrible.
That Amy Hennig was going to direct.
Amy Hennig. I actually read about that in the Blood, Sweat and Pixels.
I'm super fucking bummed about that because I was looking forward to that and they didn't show anything at E3 this year. And I thought, but I'm sure they're still making it.
Nope.
And then later this year they were like, no, it's done.
Yeah,
doesn't suit our business model.
I think the Disney buyout of Lucasfilm was in 2014 and we have not had a story-driven Star Wars game. That seems insane.
Yeah.
Just, it doesn't suit their... They like the short-term bursts of happiness similar to a casino.
As we've seen with like Disney, they shut down anything they don't want. Like, I was trying to buy the Clone Wars Blu-rays. 6 is sold separately because that happened after they were bought out by Disney. And they were just like, it's done. It's finished now. We're finished with this. They will shut down anything they don't want. And I think EA is at serious... They will lose the contract for Star Wars.
I think so. I think they will. I really think they will. Like, because it's one thing like fans doing petitions and stuff, but like when Disney is like, stop fucking up our brand on the eve of a new film, like, that's disastrous.
As well this year, well, I guess it was last month, EA bought Respawn, who made Titanfall and Titanfall 2.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because Respawn were kind of in debt as well because Titanfall 2 didn't have as a successful launch as they'd hoped.
It was put out to die. That was in between
Call of Duty and Battlefield. I think it was like between those 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It suffered a lot. And I remember I got the game last year in the Black Friday sales. And the game was out a month and it was already 25 quid.
Yeah.
Which is not good.
Yeah, that sucks.
And it seems like they were still in a lot of debt 1 year later. So EA bought them directly. I don't know if they'll make a Titanfall 3. They might. It's not going to be.
Yeah, I hope they don't siphon that studio off just doing map packs and stuff.
They'll probably just. Well, I remember Visceral made Dead Space 1 and 2, and then they made Dead Space 3, which isn't as good.
And then I think they were working on Battlefield Hardline maps for a little while.
They were, yeah. I don't know what's going to happen, but EA is going to do something to them.
Yep. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if next year we see the closure of BioWare.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. Because like, where does that studio go now?
Yeah, I think the only reason they'll keep them around is to like stamp the name on things, just the BioWare brand recognition for BioWare fans.
And I thought like Dragon Age Inquisition was reasonably well received.
Yeah,
like,
I like that game.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was well received enough for EA to be like making one of those.
In context with Andromeda, it seems like an amazing game, but at the time it was pretty disappointing to a lot of people, but it works.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like just EA as a company.
Okay, overall, just EA is the biggest shit show this year. Congratulations, EA, you did it.
Yeah, fuck you and fuck you what you're going to do in 2018 because we know you're going to do something shit then.
We'll be watching. So we're 35 minutes in and it's time to get real. It's time to start the Game of the Year Eliminations. So before we go on, we'll just say that everyone listening, this is going to be a total compromise on everyone's behalf, so no one will be happy. So if you don't agree with this list, neither do any of us.
Yeah, for sure. We have 41 games, and we're going to do them by process of elimination. So we're going to work our way back and then forwards.
Mm-hmm.
So we cut the shit, and then we get to the good stuff.
Yeah. So the idea is like we'll be cutting the weakest ones first, all the way to the strongest. So If I remember right, Neve, I think you did the first elimination the first year. I did the first elimination last year, which means, Brian, I am handing you the ceremonial dagger. Make the first cut.
I'm going to be fucking controversial. Every game publication is going to fucking praise the shit out of this game. I haven't played this game. Don't ever want to play this game. I don't fucking care. Let's cut Battlegrounds.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Let's be that fucking alternative.
I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say yeah.
No, why?
Because I fucking fed up with Waypoint and Giant Bomb and all the fucking rest of them being like, hey guys, we're going to do another Battlegrounds stream.
Other people talking about a game is not grounds to cut it.
What about, like, no, like
I'll
only
never-
one of us have played it?
Yeah, I'll never play this game.
So you want to cut Kona?
Yeah, when it's someone else's turn and they say Kona,
but I'm not hearing any good. I had fun with Battlegrounds this year. That was a genuinely I enjoy that game. And so if we're gonna cut it first, aside from making some edgy statements, I don't think I'm not hearing any reasons to cut it yet.
Well, it's gonna be cut within 1 or 2 games anyway. So let's just make it our least favorite game of the year just for a laugh.
Just as a technicality. This game only reached its 1.0 version a few days ago, and you haven't played that version, so it was in early access. So is it really eligible for Game of the Year?
All I base it on is how much did I enjoy this thing, and I enjoyed Battlegrounds. It was an online shooter that I enjoyed. That in itself is worth something.
But we're gonna have to cut it anyway.
We're gonna have to cut 40 of these games.
I know, but this is gonna be
But I genuinely think this deserves better than this.
Okay, but John, do you want this game either at number 41 or at number 39?
Why are you going
Because I'm looking at the list here and it's
oh my god.
I can't believe you've done this. This should be easy. You will never pick first again, Brian.
This is what I know the worst game of the year is Drawn to Death. But
how do you make it? Have you watched footage of that game?
Of which one?
Drawn to Death.
Yeah.
How do you make an argument for that instead of this?
Because you played Drawn to Death and I played one go of Drawn to Death. So we've played more Drawn to Death than we have of Battlegrounds.
So yeah, but in that case, I've played many more hours of Battlegrounds than I played Drawn to Death.
I just think it's really, really, really funny at Battlegrounds.
I don't care. That's
game.
Not a good reason to cut something, and it's not my least favorite. And if you want to have this argument in 3 turns times again, I will, because I don't think it should go out this early.
I'm looking at the list here, and it's going to go out early.
Do you want to pick do you want to pick something else for now, or John, will you concede to let it being a ceremonial cut?
No, this is we're meant to be making a list of the best.
It is
game.
our GOAT. And it's on the table.
Do you
want to?
We're not that game did cool stuff. That game has interesting gameplay mechanics, and I get that you guys haven't played it, and I'm not expecting it to go past 30 or anything. But the idea of that game going first just because it would be funny.
I don't think anyone liked that game this year.
What?
I think if that's your favorite game, you don't play games. I don't know. Fuck it.
I think this is just another example of you two trying to be edgy and rebellious against some perceived thing.
Yeah, you.
And I think I wish you guys would learn as well, because every time you do this, I dig my fucking heels in and I push it all the way to the end. So if you want to do that this year, if you want Battlegrounds to enter our top 10, that's fine.
No, look, we'll throw something. Can we throw something else up there? You see,
Brian, pick another game.
Then Drawn to Death. That's the bad game.
That is a terrible game.
Yeah, that's a piece of shit game. Get rid of it.
Drawn to Death is the worst game I played this year. It was genuinely fucking awful.
Okay, so on 41 of the list is
41 is Drawn to Death. David Jaffe. Maybe God of War wasn't so great.
Okay, 40 Battlegrounds.
Well, it's my turn now. We can you can pick it. I'll defend it.
Okay, so what's better than Battlegrounds?
Let's see. This is a good list. Holy shit.
See, I told you. There's Battlegrounds isn't a good game on the list of good games we have.
You haven't played it. I would cut Echo over Battlegrounds.
Wow.
Oh, really?
I thought Echo looked cool.
Echo was fucking cool. I got bored of it.
So you want to cut Echo now? Because Battlegrounds hasn't been cut at this stage.
I know.
I think Echo looks cooler than Battlegrounds.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch a Let's Play of Echo than Battlegrounds.
I have played them both, and I can tell you Echo is cool. It has one central mechanic, and once you learn it, it gets kind of boring.
It's got a good aesthetic.
Yeah, the aesthetic of it looks cool.
Lovely. Really, really lovely.
The aesthetic of Battlegrounds isn't.
Like, why? Like...
Because it's just some fucking mod reskin of some fucking game that came out, and then it's a reskin of that game. It's just a mod of a mod.
It's its own game. It's not a mod.
But it was a mod of a mod at one point, right?
Sure, but everything was like a broken prototype at one point.
Not Echo, the greatest game ever made.
I think we can take out Echo. I just thought like it kind of seemed like it was doing something really interestingly, just from our conversation.
I guess the thing with Echo is I feel like with Echo, I want to see Echo 2. Like, that is on the verge of doing something great. The only problem is it gets kind of boring.
I like how symmetrical it all looks.
Yeah, that is fucking cool. I can try and find another game if you guys don't want to cut Echo yet.
I would take out Kona before Echo. Like, I think Echo is pretty.
I would take out Snipper Clips.
Okay, cool, yeah.
No, I like Snipper Clips.
I did not like Snipper Clips.
Snipper Clips is the second best launch game for the Nintendo Switch. That's a huge fucking achievement.
It's such a weird time.
Yeah, that's like, of the 5 games that came out, it was number 2.
It's better than Just Dance. It's better than 1-2-Switch. It's better than that Bomberman game.
Whoa!
That Bomberman game is really lame.
Yeah.
Snipper Clips is a lot of fun. Some of the puzzles are really, really clever. Cute and charming game. I love the face animation when you like make them crouch. I like that game.
Okay, we can go for Echo then.
I would also be willing to cut Golf Story.
I literally have nothing to do with Golf Story. I don't.
Yeah, let's cut Golf Story.
Golf Story is cool. It's relaxing, it's chill, and it's a fun little game. It's not like, it hasn't grabbed me. Maybe it would the further into it I get, but it's like, it's a good game so far. It has not like blown me away or anything.
Okay, Golf Story is number 40.
Golf Story is number 40.
The second worst game of the year.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
I thought this might be coming.
Yeah, I haven't played enough of it. Maybe it'll get best old game next year. I don't know.
There's a lot. I've been really interested to read up on that game because like I'm interested. I like RPGs. It seems like there's a lot of bullshit to wade through in that game, and it seems like there's awesome stuff, but it seems kind of painful.
I keep reading that and hearing that, and when you're an hour in, that is just, it's not really the motivation you need to keep going with it.
I mean,
especially when the English voice acting is just as bad as it is.
This isn't meant to be fair.
Yeah.
This is just what our experiences of games were this year.
Well, yeah, then let's say goodbye to Xenoblade.
Okay. Xenoblade is the 39th best game of the year. Brian.
Yeah?
Go for it.
Alright. I'm looking at 3 games. Echo, Kona, and Battlegrounds. Which one?
I don't feel overly strongly on this, Neve, but you seem to be really having a good time with Kona when you were playing it.
Kona's a cool game that I think both of you would actually really enjoy. It's a detective murder mystery. You are on your way to a small town and you find a dead body. You have to navigate your way through an empty town purely with a map of the area and your car. So you're looking out for road signs. It's snowing constantly. And it's very atmospheric, and it was one of those things where I was like, when you're using a map in a game, you don't feel like you're really orientating yourself from the map. It really did feel like I was using a map. And it was kind of a survival sim as well, where you had to gather wood and fire equipment to keep yourself warm. There was a lot of cool stuff about it, but the mystery wasn't enough to keep me there personally. It's something I want to go back to, but I guess first impressions, it didn't pull me in, but I wanted it to.
Do you ever feel like there's this thing where like you really like a game, but you don't keep playing it?
Yeah.
That's always a weird one for me.
I really liked it because like the houses are all done in this really Catholic tack, just pictures of Jesus around, pictures of people's families, old couches, manky carpet, and old wallpaper. And you open up drawers under a sink, and there's what you'd expect down there. There's cleaning supplies. Like it's a very detail-oriented world and game. But the loading screen was kind of crazy in the car. I did get lost a lot. There was stuff that was not helping me enjoy the narrative.
Right.
So, I don't know. I fell off it. So, I'm kind of happy to let it go. But I don't think it's a bad game. I think a lot of people will find a lot of stuff to like in Kona.
I think there is one bad game on this list and we've cut it.
Yeah.
It seems like Echo should be cut before Kona by the sounds of it.
You sound more passionate about Kona than I do about Echo, Neve. Like with Echo, I think Echo is really cool, and people, like the first 2 hours of Echo are fucking great. Like they're genuinely amazing. But then you start learning how to game the AI, and you start to learn the limitations to the gameplay systems, and it does, to me, what made that game great kind of fell apart by hour 4, which I was really disappointed about. But it's also a really, really impressive indie game, and like I hope that studio does something more with like not even just another game. I'd like to see another Echo. I'd like to see what comes after this, because this feels like the best beta ever.
Okay, so then let's put Echo at 39, Kona at 38.
It's 38 for Echo. 39 was Xenoblade.
Oh yeah, sorry. So that's 38 for Echo, 37 for Kona.
So I think that brings it back to... So, Neve, wait, you cut...
I cut Xenoblade. Brian, that was Brian's cut.
Okay, so Kona is at 37.
Mm-hmm.
What's at 36?
I am going to say Dream Daddy.
Yeah.
I thought this... I enjoyed the time I spent with it, but it was kind of like everything else at this level. There was a point I got to it, I put it down, I didn't come back, and I never felt a need to.
I think what this game does well for that genre of dating sim, it kind of brought it to a very mainstream audience. There was fan art from people who wouldn't normally engage with these kind of games. It had some really good, sincere writing that I think I connected with a lot at the start. And there was some cool gameplay stuff that was nostalgic, like when it went Pokemon style for the dad off. Like, it had some clever, endearing writing to it, but I did fall off it as well.
And, like, with the writing also, I kind of felt like for every piece of dialogue I liked, there was another part that I found, like, quite hammy.
Yeah, I didn't get to a hammy sense with it. I thought the dad was so much his own character, it was kind of hard to roleplay.
I had the exact same experience. And I really, like, there's a creative character in that game. I really feel like if they want me to play as this character, I'll play as this character, but then don't give me a creative character to mess around with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, completely. Like, I really felt the person I thought I could play going in or wanted to play was very compromised to a person I would never ever play. So I felt I was role playing a character, and that kind of went against who I would want to romance. A conflict of interests when it comes to these kind of games and why you would play them, nearly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's that, 36?
36.
All right, can we put...
Wait, whose turn is it now?
It's my turn.
Neve.
What were you going to say, Brian? Fight and Rage.
What's better, Fight and Rage or Battlegrounds, John?
Or Snipper Clips.
Snipper Clips is better.
I disagree. I don't think Snipper Clips is very good.
Okay, I think Fighting Rage and Snipper Clips are better than Battlegrounds. I like Snipper Clips more than Battlegrounds.
I like Battlegrounds more than Snipper Clips.
What do you think, Neve? Like, Snipper Clips is a better game than Battlegrounds.
The thing that doesn't matter to me here is Fight and Rage, because I played Snipper Clips. I liked it quite a lot of it. And I think maybe Battlegrounds should probably go further if that's what we're doing here.
I think the stuff Fight and Rage does well, it deserves to go further. But I get that it's a strong list. Okay, let me put this out there. What about Mass Effect Andromeda? Does that go further than these games that we like?
No, it doesn't.
But
I don't think so, personally.
that's your choice, Brian.
I literally couldn't give a shit about Mass Effect Andromeda. That can be the worst game of the year for all I care.
Yeah, I would put it in that box.
Yeah, fuck it off then.
It's like, I wrote a list of shit I hated about that game.
Here we
I feel
go.
like I just should
You just need to get
just mention it.
Nia, fucking send it off. Go on.
Just, I wrote the word dead, dead, dead over and over. The facial animation was just god-awful. It was worse than any other BioWare game that existed. Before this was Dragon Age Inquisition. And looking back on that, those character models and animation are gorgeous. I know the team was hamstrung with the use of the Frostbite engine. Just I feel bad for the team. EA fucked them over. The level of glitches was insane. I would go into a room and everyone in a room would be floating above my head. Or people would just be embedded in the furniture. Everything was copy and pasted environment-wise. The story was just bad. It was just not good. You had first contact with an alien species and it was just you standing on a box kind of like, hey, like it wasn't special. You were meeting literally a new alien race that has never been discovered and it was boring and bad. Liam was just randomly shirtless all the time, and that was really disconcerting.
Who is Liam?
He's just he's one of the guys on your ship. Like, he's just a romance option, and because I played female writer, I think, or maybe he just does it anyway, he just takes off his shirt and shirtless for like at least 6 hours of my game.
Do you think that's their attempt to make a sexy character?
Yeah, he was meant to be the guy I would romance. Or Jal, who was the sexy alien, who was also naked for no reason narratively.
What do girls like? Naked men.
Just weird naked alien butt. It was, I don't know, it wasn't good. The locations were beautiful. There was some really nice environmental design in it. God, the Paragon Renegade kind of was gone, but there was a moment where you could make a decision and they always sucked and were always just kind of shoehorned in there.
Yeah.
There was one where I just meant you could make a decision to shoot a person in the back while your friend was telling you no, they wanted to save her. And I was like, the only reason you would do that is if you were insane. Like, it wasn't a nuanced decision.
Yeah,
it was just
terrible.
like, do you want to shoot her for
That's
no
like
reason?
morality systems like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was just...
That's like Fallout 3.
It was just bad. Okay, it's just...
Be bold.
It's just a bad game. It can go... The characters and the voice actors involved in this game deserve better than what this was.
Okay. That sounds like a compelling reason to cut that.
Yeah, fuck that game.
So that is the... I feel, in hindsight, I feel maybe that should have gone out earlier now.
Yeah, maybe that should have been the first one. As a symbolic action.
Maybe...
Yeah.
Maybe if we hadn't all lost our minds there for a minute, it would have. Who's cut?
It's my turn.
Go for it.
Do I pick either Star Fox 2 or do I pick Battlegrounds?
So the most stuff I've heard about Star Fox 2 is like... It's interesting.
Yeah, it's cool that it exists. I've played it. I prefer Star Fox 1.
Really?
Yeah.
I've heard this thing runs at like 7 frames a second.
It does. It's super technically impressive because it's super polygonal. You're talking about like proper 3D space because you're flying a spaceship in outer space. It's Lilac Wars on the SNES. It's really ambitious. I don't know what this would have been like as an actual physical SNES cartridge because we're talking about a SNES Mini because this is what the game was finally released on. This is a SNES game that came out in 2017, which is really, really fucking cool.
I think that's really cool. And I think that's to me the most interesting thing about the game. And I don't see that changing if I played it.
Yeah, like it's kind of fun to play. Yeah, I'd cut it.
Okay.
But we have to cut something else next.
Well, yeah, that's how this works.
But I want to cut.
Because like then we'll never get to the bottom of the list.
Yeah, but you know what I want to cut next.
Yeah, well, enjoy your next turn.
So that was 34.
34.
By Star Fox 2. What could it have been?
For 33. At 33, I'm happy to cut Battlegrounds. I think that's I think that's going to place really high in a lot of people's list.
It's going to be the number one game of a load of different websites, and that's fine. They played it, and they're into PCs.
I just
and
don't
shit.
know why you're angry about that. Like, you're so angry at this game you've never played.
Because it's not even like a real game. It's like a beta game.
It came out. It's out. And it's even in beta, it's good. The beta of Battlegrounds is better than Mass Effect Andromeda.
I just wasn't... I was like, that's a cool idea, but I just... You know how you just get like fatigue from just hearing about the same fucking game for weeks and weeks in gaming podcasts? So much that you actually stop listening to gaming podcasts.
Then you should maybe take that up with gaming podcasts and not the game. That's a ridiculous way to form an opinion about something. Like, genuinely.
But that's my only exposure to that game, because I'll never play it because I don't own a PC.
Yeah, but my point is, like, Battlegrounds, like, it is a good game. It deserves better than just that, you know?
It'll
It'll
get loads of praise, don't you worry.
I'm not concerned where else it gets praise. I'm concerned that it gets praise here.
Not from me.
It made a really good Giant Bomb series.
It did, yeah. That Giant Bomb
Murder
series
Island
alone is worth something.
Yeah.
I won't watch that.
It's pretty good. Abby's character is hilarious with just his big red hair.
She's so great. She was on a few of the best of Giant Bombs, and her clips from that were fucking brilliant. I love it whenever she like screams. But I liked Battlegrounds because it was like this super grey military shooter that somehow made me give a shit about it. And like I had some really good times with that. And my cousin, we played a few matches online, and like, you know, there was this one thing where we caught two people trying to sneak up on us, and so we let them think they were sneaking up on us, and we got the drop on them right at the last second, and we killed them both. That felt amazing. That was one of my like favorite gameplay moments this year. And I'm gonna play more Battlegrounds. Like I don't. As soon as probably I'm on my holidays, I'm gonna get back in there and play some, because it is a really weird, fun game. But 33 is as far as it goes.
Did we already cut fight, and whatchamacallit, Fight and Rage?
I don't think we did.
No, we haven't.
Okay, because that game, I really like the look of that game, so I want to stick around for a bit.
Honestly, Neve, if you want to cut that, I'm probably not going to fight for it at 32. With a few alterations, I'd be so willing to, but I think the problems that game has are quite damaging.
Yeah, I'm okay with getting rid of Fright and Rage stage if you were.
Yep, that's a really cool game, but like it takes like between 2 and 2.5 hours to beat it. You cannot save. That's fucking ridiculous in this day and age.
That's a major flaw.
Yeah. If you're like crazy about scrolling beat 'em ups, and I am, it's totally for you. But like in terms of like the Let's Fight a Boss game of the year, it shouldn't go any further than this. Okay.
It's me again. I'm gonna cut Fire Emblem Echoes for the 3DS.
That was the remake of the first game, is it?
Yeah. I really like the story of this game. There's some great mechanics. But because it's a remake and it's using the mechanics from the older games, it's missing a lot of my favorite features and functions of the more recent Fire Emblem installments.
The dating stuff?
The dating stuff, yes. It does have dungeon crawling in first person. Well, not kind of first person, but and that's kind of interesting. And the story is super fucking good.
Yeah?
Yeah, no.
How does the story stack up to like modern Fire Emblem?
As good. If like I think it's more memorable than Fire Emblem Fates.
Yeah.
In some ways. Because it kind of does a bit of Fire Emblem Fates, but it does it more condensed, because you play as a male and female lead, and they end up siding with different armies, but they're childhood friends.
That sounds cool.
And you could play 2 separate campaigns on this giant overworld map.
The biggest disappointment for Fates for me was like, oh wait, like they're both fighting the same bad guy. Like,
yeah.
What's even the point?
With this so far, they haven't, like, because I still haven't beaten this game, but I do play it occasionally, and what I have played is good, but it's nothing that's getting me excited the way something like Awakening did. But there is a nice conflict of interest, and it's a very personal drama at the base of it, which is great. But it's just missing a lot of my favorite features from the 3DS Fire Emblem games.
Okay, if you could date the waifus and they were good, how far does this game go?
The waifus aren't even that good. That's another problem.
That's a fatal, incurable problem then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, dude.
I'm going to go for Super Mario Maker 3DS.
Was that on there?
Yeah, I played that this year. That's a very, very good Mario platformer. I prefer Super Mario Maker 3DS. The single-player campaign of that is better than New Super Mario Bros. 2.
Do you think there's an argument for it staying on?
No.
What's it like as a maker?
I haven't played any Maker of it at all, and I have no interest in it.
Why?
I don't like DIY games at all, at any capacity.
It's because you're not a creative person.
I am a creative person.
Brian is very, very creative. That is me being facetious.
I think it's the developers should be paid to do their jobs.
Brian, that's harsh. People love that shit.
They do, yeah, and I don't understand why.
It's for someone, is all I'm saying.
Oh, it is,
but
yeah.
I also think it should totally be cut. Neve, what do you got?
Snake Pass?
Did you watch Mark Brown's video on it the other day?
I did.
Yeah.
It was cute.
That snake is so cute.
He is.
It's a really, really nice idea for a platformer. That it's not it's such a clever mechanic.
What about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe?
No,
That's a re-release.
Yeah, but
It should lose points.
it should, but
Yeah,
it's
but it's
still
really good.
it's still like the best Nintendo game, the best-selling Nintendo game in the last 5 years.
I don't care how much it sold. Doesn't enhance my enjoyment of it.
That's actually true because Battlegrounds sold the most.
Yeah.
That's not
Battlegrounds, back in it. Okay.
I'm not ready to cut Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Sure. Okay.
If you're not, like, are you okay with Snake Pass? I can go with...
I can probably cut it. Like, it's not going to go much further, but I think that is a really cool game.
I'd be cool with you cutting Snipper Clips before Snake Pass, to be honest. Snipper Clips has gone far enough.
Okay, let's go for Snipper Clips then.
Yeah.
Brian, give Snipper Clips its eulogy.
A charming, delightful game. If you're looking for a fun co-op game on the Switch for less than €20, I don't know how much is it, like €20, €15, some sort of number.
Some kind of numerical value.
Yeah, something on the lower end of budget gaming, I guess. Yeah, it's a lovely, cute game that is a Switch exclusive. This game could have been an iPad exclusive, could have been a fucking PC Steam exclusive, but it's a Switch exclusive that came out at the launch of the Switch when there was fucking nothing on that system. That system has had a great year, but I think Snipper Clips was one of the starting points of that great year.
No one would play this game with me. I try to get my girlfriend to play it.
Yeah, same.
She was just like, I hate this.
I did
like,
play a bit with my girlfriend. That's a game to make you fight.
I know, isn't it?
Yep.
Like, it was like no part of it was kind of nice. It was kind of like, no, you do this. No, you do this.
Could
no,
you just?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why are you doing it wrong? Oh my god, you're doing it wrong.
It's very interesting. It's very fascinating that a game can make you that frustrated with the person you love.
But like that was like with the demo, you know?
Yeah, same.
Oh dear. I played with my girlfriend. I played with my brother as well, and they were similar experiences where it's frustrating, but it is satisfying when you do get the puzzle solved. But maybe not as satisfying for both parties.
Because there's probably one person directing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I think I was. Yeah,
I have no doubt.
Nia, if you ever want to play Snipper Clips with me, I'd be totally up for it.
Yeah, I wonder who would have fun in that situation.
I think I'd have more fun.
Brian,
than, I'd like to boss you around.
Okay, cool. Let's play that.
Okay, so...
Bye, Snipper Clips. I love you.
Goodbye, Snipper Clips.
That's our 29th, so we're into the 20s.
Woo!
Woo!
What's 28?
Is it my turn? Or is it Neve's turn?
I cut Snipper Clips there, so
Okay,
it's
so
Brian's
it's
turn.
my turn. Disgaea 5.
Yeah, okay. That is a really good addition to the Switch library. If you like tactical RPGs, it is one that will go on for as long as you want it to go on, and it can be as difficult or as basic as you want it to be. The characters are charming, the sprites are cute, the menu music is awful, the weapons are really amazing, you can throw each other, it's a fun, wacky strategic game, and I think a lot of strategic games are seen as kind of a bit stuffy from people. This kind of game gets people into these tile-based RPGs. I really like it. It's really great on the Switch. I'm glad it got this far.
Brian, how strongly do you feel about South Park Fractured But Whole?
Still strong enough.
Okay. In that case, I think I'm ready to let Snake Pass go. Snake Pass is probably one of the most unique games this year. It's a 3D platformer without a jump button where you play as Snake. Mark Brown of Game Maker's Toolkit just did a really good video on it. And I really highly recommend that people check out this game. It's so chilled, it's a lot of fun to play, and the way like the snake's body is, like the movement physics behind it and the way you control it, it's so unusual, but it's such a distinctive experience. If you want a really chill, fun, kind of semi-puzzle, semi-platformer physics game over Christmas, this is a really good one. That's 27?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 27.
Neve.
Night in the Woods.
I want to like that game more than I do.
I'd love to play it. I'm waiting for it to go cheaper.
I don't like the writing at all. Like, it doesn't appeal to me whatsoever.
I really, really don't like the person who made that game. I just not into that person's stuff or writing style on Twitter.
Yeah, I think it's a thing that if you like the writing style of that, you're going to really enjoy those characters in that world and that suburbia. I think it's very specific to a certain type of person and a certain type of place. And if you're outside of that, I don't know if you'll connect to it at all, which I didn't.
Did I ever tell you the story about Scott Benson and my sister?
No.
Okay, so Scott Benson is the creator of A Night in the Woods. And my sister, who's also called Neve, was doing a thesis on animation and contemporary art. And I said, you should interview this guy called Scott Benson because he loves to talk about himself. And he's a independent animator that puts a lot of his work out on Vimeo and so on. So and I was very familiar with his work just because it was in my interest circle, I would describe as. But I knew for a fact that he liked to talk about himself. And I told my sister, guarantee if you ask this guy to talk about himself, he will fucking sing. She got 10,000 words out of him.
What?
This dude loves to fucking talk about how he's an independent animator.
10,000 words.
Yeah. Super lovely of him, but
Yeah.
you could tell
Can't believe you're dragging him for helping out your sister.
Oh, that's so nice of him, but you can tell that he got more out of it than my sister did. Because he loves fucking talking about himself.
So on the subject, just like Night in the Woods, I played a bit of it. I liked it well enough. It definitely wasn't hitting home with me in the way I thought it would. I nearly feel like, why is there a platformer element to that game? It didn't add anything to the overall experience for me, except to make it take really long to get from one objective to the other, and then just some weak signposting.
Why was it a game over an animated short?
Yeah, the game part felt like, hey, this is a game and isn't that cute? Maybe the answers to that are later on in the game, but it didn't capture me enough to bring me that far. So...
What's that, number 26?
I believe so, yep.
Okay, is it me?
I think so.
Okay, John, how do you feel about Uncharted Lost Legacy?
I think there's probably games I would put... Getting into it.
Yeah,
We are getting down into it.
Yeah, we are.
I could lose it. I could maybe lose Guilty Gear Revelator 2.
Oh, no, I wouldn't, though.
Just because that's like a sequel of a sequel.
Yeah, but I have a fondness for Guilty Gear.
It was also a re-release that got into our top 10 last year.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to argue against biking, So I guess...
I'd like to see Uncharted go further with that.
I'm enjoying it. I'm still playing it. I'm having a good time with it. The voice acting is good. The production is very high. Yeah, I don't think I can offer you any more alternatives, however.
What about Little Nightmares?
Yeah, but
here's my dilemma with Little Nightmares. I think the main game of that is excellent. I think the DLC is fucking terrible.
To me, Uncharted Lost Legacy was originally pitched as DLC to Uncharted 4.
It totally feels like its own thing.
Yeah.
That's really, really impressive that it ended up being developed into its own thing. Because I remember a year ago it was supposed to just be like a side story.
Yeah. The linear bits of Lost Legacy are a lot better than the open world bits. I would say that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that's emblematic of Uncharted as a series, though.
Yeah, totally.
I think the more scripted it is, the better it is.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm struggling to find anything else, though, that I'd be willing to put in front of it. Like me, I'm guessing you're not willing to let Destiny 2 go.
Not right now, no.
Or Battle Chef Brigade. Like, I'm saying that because I don't think I feel as strongly about Lost Legacy as you do about Battle Chef Brigade.
So is Little Nightmares continuing on, or do you want to see that go further?
I guess if there's one thing we have to get rid of instead, it's Little Nightmares. And really, like, I do have to stress a lot of that is just because I felt really shafted by the DLC.
These are both games I haven't played, but I do really, really want to play. I want to play Uncharted Lost Legacy, and
Same
I want
here.
to play Little Nightmares.
Sit down with Little Nightmares for 3 hours, and it's a really fucking great 3-hour game. Like, just beautifully produced, exceptionally animated, amazing like environmental design, amazing enemy design. Just ends really cool. You know, it doesn't set the world on fire with its ending. It's not a Inside ending, but it's a good ending. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In fact, you know, the ending of it is actually, it's very similar to Inside, except not as good. But the rest of the game I thought was much better than Inside. I think I'm happy to let it go at this point. It's a shame about the DLC. They really shouldn't have put that out as paid content. Like, it's basically like there's a new monster, and all the new monster is something that hides underwater that you never see until the very end, and when you see it, it looks shite. It just looks like
That's so underwhelming.
Yeah, it's just a blurry humanoid.
Oh wow,
How much was
cool.
that?
I think the DLC was between 5 and 8. And
okay.
Like, even price aside, it was not worth my time, and that's what pissed me off, because the main game did not waste my time at all. So yeah, you know what? I think that is where that game should go out.
What number is that? 26, 25?
I think that's 25. Yes, 25. Oh,
Whose turn is it?
I think it's mine.
Okay.
Brian, I want to take a temperature check on South Park Fractured But Whole.
Not yet. This is getting tough.
It's getting real tough. What about Metroid Samus Returns?
Not yet. I love that game.
Okay. We only have so many not yets, I will say that. The only other one that's jumping out at me then is going to be Tekken 7.
Is Tekken 7 worse than Guilty Gear?
Yes.
As a new release this year, and Guilty Gear being a release of a release of a release.
I'd probably put Tekken 7 before Guilty Gear.
Is Tekken 7 a new release though? Like, I just feel like Tekken hasn't changed since Tekken 3, and this is another one of those.
Well, I guess it's like current gen console Tekken.
Yeah.
Sure, it looks nicer, but I feel like I would be more passionate about Guilty Gear than I would Tekken 7.
I don't like the online assigning that they do in Tekken 7. But I don't want to cut it just yet, because it is very impressive. And there are some great moments in the single player campaign.
I guess with Tekken 7, where I'd be coming from is like, I've played every Tekken. I've never taken a break from Tekken. And this just felt like another Tekken. And it's fun, like it's still Tekken, but I just feel that is one of the laziest fighting game franchises in existence.
As well.
Ooh.
It is though, like and like I don't like saying that, but Tekken has not evolved like other fighting games have.
How much Tekken have we all played since the end of the summer? Like the past 4 months, how much Tekken have we played?
I was disappointed with Tekken 7 because what it did with the arcade system. I like getting the little character movies at the end of playing the arcade mode, and they are bad. Like, they're so bad.
They're terrible.
Nothing really happens, and the pair-ups are really weird and outside the lore.
Yeah.
Like, I was playing Master Raven. I can't even remember who it was. It was like Feng or some shit, and I was just like, did they have beef now? There was just all the narrative spice that I like about Tekken and its silliness was missing from this game. There was a lot more stuff with the Mishima family and that whole narrative, but I kind of just thought that
I think
wasn't
that's
great.
one of the least interesting. I thought the Akuma stuff was novel, and they went for it in a way I didn't think they would. Did you get to the final fight in story mode?
Yeah.
That was cool, I thought. But yeah, like, that's kind of how I feel about Tekken. I feel like, yes, another one of those.
It's cool that Geese is
It's
in
better
it.
than 6. It's better than Tekken 6 for sure.
Yeah. It's not better than Tekken 5, though.
No, it is not.
But Guilty Gear Revelator is an older game.
But it's a better game.
I had a lot of fun watching people play Tekken professionally this year.
Yeah, that's true. There was some great matches at EVO.
Mm-hmm. Like, when people can play Tekken well, it is very, very good to watch, and Tekken 7 is the new Tekken.
I guess the only defense then I'd have for Guilty Gear is, like, the characters they added to Rev 2 were fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
And I like the matchmaking in the online of Guilty Gear Rev 2. It's a weird lobby system where you walk a 3D avatar around a 3D space and you sit at cabinets. But there's no weird like matchmaking where it puts you into a group of assholes, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, is it like... Do you guys want to keep Revelator then?
Oh, I'd like to keep it for a few more games.
Is that Tekken 7 gone then at 24?
24, I do believe. Yes.
I'm looking at the games here, yeah. Oh my god. Wow. Tekken 7, and we were so excited for that game.
Yeah.
Honestly, Tekken 7 was one of my biggest disappointments of the year, and I still had a lot of fun with it. I had some fucking awesome matches at Tekken 7, but I wanted more from it, and I wanted it to build on Tekken's fiction, because I think Tekken's fiction is weird and dumb and great. Mm-hmm. And it rounded out the whole Mishima thing, but at the expense of every other character.
Yeah. I like the Mishima thing. Like, I'm invested enough in that, but I like the other characters a lot more than I like that family.
I want to go back to Xiaoyu Land.
There's such good opportunities for jokes, like Paul and the aliens. Like, there's always good endings. Yeah, it's a pity.
Yeah.
Took itself too seriously.
Brian.
Alright. Are you ready to let Uncharted Lost Legacy go just yet, John, or how would you feel? Looking at what we've already eliminated and what we have ahead of us.
Do you want to take out...
I'd put ahead of it would be South Park Fractured But Whole, but if you're still into that game, Brian.
What about Sonic Mania?
Oh, I really like Sonic
Mania. I really
Mania.
like Sonic Mania.
Okay.
Yeah, Sonic Mania is really good. It's a really, really good platformer from this year.
I guess personally I feel like it should go a little further, but it's been such a fucking good year for games, like Jesus. Okay,
See, I'm looking at Battle Chef Brigade as well, where it's just like that's done really, really well to get this far too. Niamh, you really like that game, don't you?
Yeah, I think it's really novel blending of games.
I think from what I've seen of Battle Chef Brigade, I don't love parts of it, but I also think it's a really weird, ambitious thing from an indie studio, and that's awesome. And I feel like it deserves to go further than Lost Legacy.
Yeah, I'd kind of be in agreement with that. Like, it's someone really going for something, and they pulled it off. Like, it's a Kickstarter that was pulled off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really, really cool.
And with Lost Legacy, I more feel like I'm enjoying Lost Legacy. It's a popcorn game.
Yeah.
You know, like it's something I just sit down and the game happens in front of me and I don't feel any serious feelings. I just spend time with my two sassy adventure ladies. But it's fun times. You know, it's good.
It's a shame to cut it, but I do really, really want to play this game next year.
Me too.
Yeah, I think it's time to cut it.
Okay. So
23.
23. That's really, really good.
Yeah, it is.
Like, fair fucks to you, Uncharted Lost Legacy.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
That would be my turn.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about Hellblade?
I'm okay with cutting it now. You didn't get a lot
Are
of it.
you defending it?
I think I would cut... No, that's madness.
Say it.
Go on, yeah.
Say it.
Say whatever you want.
Destiny 2.
Really?
If you want
I mean,
to.
like, I feel like Destiny 2... I'm happy to cut Destiny 2 whenever you want to cut it, because I know you probably played it more than anything else this year.
I have no relationship with this game.
But that's the thing, I didn't.
Really?
I did all the Iron Banner. I got all my armor, I got all my guns, and I completely dropped off it. And then all I've been hearing about the DLC is that it's been not a good time for anyone.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like the opposite problem of Destiny 1 where I was obsessed with it and I couldn't stop playing it. It's like with this, I was like, I reached my fill. It kept giving me stuff. So I felt way easier to walk away from it. I was like, I can come back and get all these things pretty easily. It's not going to take me too long, which kept me away from it for quite a long time.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know, it's like, it's gorgeous. It's improved on the world.
I guess if you are willing to let it go at this point, that says a lot. Definitely, some of the stuff I heard about it, like, it sounded like they took a lot of the mystery out of the world.
I just think if it's up against Hellblade, I like the idea of this kind of middle tier game, a €30 priced game. Even though I didn't really enjoy it, I kind of like everything it was trying to do more than I like everything Destiny turned out to be.
Even if you consider Hellblade a failure, you like that it was an ambitious failure as opposed to a modest success.
Yeah, it was a failure for me. It didn't hit it for me at all. Like at all. But it was its own thing so strongly. I think I would like to see it go further as just an example of that kind of game that I would like to see more of. And like I didn't like Hellblade, but I hope I like the next thing that is met in that tier.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, I think I am cutting Destiny 2 at number 23.
I know, what have I done?
Then who's next?
Neve, it's your turn next.
Guilty Gear Revelator.
I prefer Guilty Gear Revelator to Hellblade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think now's the time for Guilty Gear to go.
Wait,
Like, again,
wait. Did we already cut Hellblade?
No.
Then I want Hellblade cut before Guilty Gear.
Are you serious? I just cut Destiny 2 in favor of Hellblade and you're going to cut it like before Guilty Gear?
Well, let me see. Okay.
Are you serious?
I guess I'm like 49% on one game and 51% on the other.
Guilty Gear has existed in this in a form or another for like a year already.
But so much fun to
Oh,
play.
it's way longer than a year, Neve.
Oh my god!
The first one
I
just
just
came
got
out.
Destiny 2.
Yeah, but like I don't really give a shit about Destiny. I give a shit about both of these two games.
I think Hellblade, for what it does as an idea in gaming, should get further than Guilty Gear, which is just literally the same game again.
Is this the Game Idea of the Year award or Game of the Year?
I think
what it does with okay, if we want to get down to technical aspects, what they do with that character model of Senua is amazing. Her little sidestep
animation. Let me tell you
animation.
about a little lady called Biken.
To be fair, the animation in Guilty Gear is really good too.
Yeah, Guilty Gear every new character they add looks better than the previous characters.
Okay, it's really weird because like they're both amazing looking games in their own right. But then Senua has amazing sound design, but then Guilty Gear has amazing music.
Guilty Gear has amazing music.
Yeah, so it's
you're winning.
really,
You're winning. Guilty Gear all the way to the top.
But no, okay, Guilty Gear has amazing music. So has a lot of games. Senua does something with sound.
Daisuke Ishiwatara, the lead programmer and character designer, composed all the music for Guilty Gear.
Super fucking cool. Senua literally works sound into its gameplay.
I'm amazed that you're defending this game.
I know.
Because you were like, what's happening?
But it doesn't matter if I had a good or bad time with it. I don't
That's
think
the only thing that matters.
But I don't think it was executed badly. It just didn't resonate with me as a narrative or what its story was trying to tell, but what it was trying to do in that space as a game, I think was important.
You know what resonated with me? Biken's fucking instant kill.
I thought Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I think I liked this game more than you did.
Yeah, you did.
But I prefer Guilty Gear Rev 2 over Hellblade.
Okay. I'm going to bring some sanity to this. I think we should cut Guilty Gear. It is its third time getting released. Like if this was a new game, this would be going well into the top 10.
And it was in our top 5 last year.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, let's just send off Guilty Gear Rev 2 out with a bang. Okay, my PSN username is in Brian We Trust. If anyone wants to add me, we could play some Guilty Gear Rev 2 together. Fucking love this game. Mm-hmm. I hope to see you there. Yeah. I play as Elfeld, top tier waifu, a literal waifu.
Yeah,
ready for the wedding.
Like they committed. I don't even like waifu trope. They committed it to a way that made it brilliant and pure. Fucking class.
Yeah. I love everyone in that game.
You know what? No, fuck Senua's Sacrifice.
Oh my god.
Guilty Gear going out at number
22?
20. Is it?
Is it 22? Guilty Gear is so fucking cool, man.
Yeah, it is, man. It's deadly.
22, yeah.
Okay, so Brian, is it your turn next?
Yeah. Okay, I'm either going to pick Hellblade or Life is Strange Before the Storm.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Hellblade.
Or else Battle Chef Brigade, Neve. Come on.
Okay, what I'll say about Life is Strange, I don't hate that game. That is fucking incredible, considering what I thought of the last one.
I'm real cool at letting Life is Strange go for a bit longer, but Neve, I think we got to pick between Battle Chef Brigade and Hellblade now.
Hellblade.
Hellblade. Okay.
Neve is fucking around. Hellblade isn't a game she likes. She's playing mind games. You are politicking for some.
You're being such a Senua right now.
No, there was aspects of that game that I went, this is cool. I wish it was in a better game. You know, and I'm praising the stuff I really did like about it.
It's real.
No, I get you. I totally get you. Definitely.
You know,
I you know how it's a very linear game. You have these tiny, cramped 3D space environments that you walk through as Senua. But some of the puzzles are great. Some of them aren't. I played The Witness. The Witness is nowhere near anything on these lists because I don't want it to be. But I guess after playing The Witness, I wasn't bothered by some of the puzzle mechanics in Hellblade. The fighting I found kind of like stressful and intense, but that's part of the experience as well. And the fighting is actually better than I thought it would be. All things considered, it actually has pretty decent dodging and timing and parrying mechanics for a shitty fighting mechanic system.
Nearly made it into our top 20.
Yeah.
So how you guys feeling about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe?
Not yet.
It's a re-release, you know, it's a re-release.
I put Mario Kart 8 Deluxe over Resident Evil 7.
fucking no.
You fucking
You know what? You know what?
No way. Just no way. And you both know that's not true.
I'm driving, boy.
Oh my god, stop it.
Come on, John, sing it out.
I can smell you, boy.
The fact that you
okay,
quote
no,
it.
like, look. I got my issues with Resident Evil 7. I'm going to be coming for it pretty soon. The quality of the first 3 hours make it go further here than other stuff. Okay, Brian, how you feeling about Horizon Zero Dawn?
I'm ready to cut that shit. Fantastic game. That's as far as you get, buddy. Fucking amazing, phenomenal game. The second best-selling game on the PlayStation 4. Wow. Who the fuck cares?
Come on, it deserves better than that.
It's got amazing environment design, and actually the hunting in that game is pretty good. Fucking NPC animation and voice acting is dog shit. The story's amazing. It's got Lance Reddick in it. Fucking love that dude.
Perfect.
The main character, Senua, or not Senua, what the fuck is her name? Aloy.
Aloy, yeah.
Aloy. She's not as good as Senua, that's for sure. She's cool, I guess. Her hair keeps clipping into her body. I really wish they did a better job with the main fucking character of their game. It's cool. It's a really, really cool game.
I'm looking forward to playing it for the story.
I think you like it. I wish I liked it more. I think you'll be like, yeah, girl power. Sorry, too much wine.
I'm kind of amazed you didn't play it this year, Neve. Like, I saw it, like, earlier on in the year, I was like, oh, great, we're going to have a fucking Breath of the Wild versus Horizon Zero Dawn argument.
Oh, fucking Breath of the Wild is way better than Horizon Zero Dawn. Like, hands down.
It just... There were so many games, and it was...
Yeah.
After a really long one, I don't know, it just never worked out.
This game came out 1 week before Zelda, I think. It came out in late February, and Zelda came out in early March. It was just unfortunate timing.
What are you guys' games like? I should have played that this year, because I should have played Neo, and I should have played King of Fighters 14.
Oh, fuck.
I feel like I should have played this game. I should have
Yeah,
played
it baffles me you haven't.
Yeah, I really
Like
should
you
have.
specifically.
Yeah.
There's some games like we've already cut. Like I really wish I should have played Night in the Woods. I should have played Uncharted, Lost Legacy.
Yeah, Uncharted as well. I feel like I really should have gotten around to that.
I should have played Little Nightmares, especially because I love Inside.
I feel really Little Nightmares is one that should get more play from people. Like, I genuinely had such a great time with that game.
Yeah, like it's really, really shitty that we're cutting these games, even though they are amazing games and we like them and we're very selective about our games.
Yeah.
It's just that when we have to be selective of the things we like against the things we love.
Well, yeah, like
it's really
you
tough.
have to get real about like, okay, how much did this game actually affect you?
Yeah.
You know.
But I'm just looking at something like The Evil Within 2 versus Resident Evil 7, and how does that equate numbers wise?
Whose turn are we
So
at?
I just eliminated Horizon Zero Dawn.
Okay, so Horizon gone.
Okay, what's that at? Number 90?
That's 20th.
20.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're into our teens now. Splatoon 2.
No, I'm not ready to cut that.
Then Mario Kart 8.
Okay, I'll cut Mario Kart 8.
Thank God. Glad someone brought some sanity to this argument.
Splatoon 2 is better than Mario Kart 8. In
I have
my
no
opinion.
doubt.
Mario Kart 8, it's fucking amazing playing that handheld on the Switch with friends at work.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, okay.
My one problem with the game is that, and it's not really the game itself, it's the Switch. The Joy-Cons, the buttons on the Joy-Cons are too hard. They feel like very tough nipples. And
Jesus Christ.
when you have to press A or
Tough
B
nipple.
or whatever to accelerate the entire game of Mario Kart, you have this weird fucking dent in your thumb. And I just think that like the Switch controller was not designed, the buttons on that controller were not designed to be held down for 5 minutes.
Do you have the slip-on part on top of it that it connects to your wrist?
No.
That they have an extra button pad over it, don't they? They make that more comfortable.
Well, no, like this is when I'm playing in handheld mode and I'm pressing like the actual A button.
Oh, okay.
This game makes me want to buy a pro controller and just play it like more comfortably, but that's a design flaw as well that you're being forced to consider buying a better controller because the Switch controller. I can't wait for the Switch 2. That's all I'm saying. And fucking Mario Kart 8
Brian,
made me consider.
you're off the wine.
I'm
Yeah. We're a year into the Switch, barely.
I'm sure they'll do. I think the
You know,
DS.
I'd like to
had-
acknowledge Switch fucking killed it this year.
Yeah.
That is a great console. I'm so happy I own one, and it's had a really good year for games. And like 2018 is looking pretty sweet too.
It's got a very good online in Mario Kart 8. Just worked right away, no problems.
Have you guys like looked at like the Switch's indie library?
It's pretty good.
Fucking deadly. Have like Volgar the Viking and shit on there.
They've all the fucking Neo Geo titles.
Oh, I know, man. There's a game on there. I'm gonna play it over Christmas. That is like this weird, obscure arcade game where you're two boys with yo-yos, and it's so strange. And I played it when I was little, and then I saw it, and I never knew what it was. And then I saw it in the Switch shop, and I was like, no way. That's my fascinating story. Wasn't that deadly?
I can't believe the Switch launched with only 5 fucking games.
Totally.
Like 9 months ago.
So, Neve, you eliminated Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Brian,
Yeah.
what do you got?
Can we get rid of Battle Chef Brigade, Neve, please?
Yeah, go on.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Neve, can you say some nice things about Battle Chef Brigade, please?
I think Battle Chef Brigade has a lot of heart, a lot of tactics, and a lot of fun for everyone who wants to play that game. It's very sweet and it's clever. Just blending the whole cooking with RPG fighting with puzzler, it works really well, and it kind of gives a new spin on very classic game modes. And I think the team who made it, just, I don't know, it's very polished for what it is for a Kickstarted game. And it was a really pleasant surprise in my gaming year.
Aw,
Sounds good.
that's so nice.
Okay,
18.
so I think it's time to start making some tough decisions.
Alright.
But first, I feel like it's time for Fractured Butthole to go.
Yep. Okay. That's the time. As someone who never played Stick of Truth, I've only played Fractured Butthole. And I role-played the game, but it's very, very thinly veiled with the role-playing. I'm sure you get the exact same experience no matter what character you play as. My favorite bits of South Park as a TV series are when the kids are just being kids. And they get too involved in their own imagination and it spills into the town of South Park. They're my favorite episodes. So I really like the Margarine episode where the girls have a fortune-telling device and Butters has to pose as a girl called Margarine. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, that was good.
Such a cute episode. So there are those really, really cute, dumb kid moments that are in Fractured Butthole. It feels like a fantastic, peak episode of South Park that you get to play. It's got some great, South Park, story beats. It's got a sudden ending. It's got some great reveals. Cartman is at his absolute finest in this game. He's such a little shit. The main character has some quiet moments too, when his parents are arguing and they've made you dinner and it's cold, and the main character will just eat his dinner and he'll take one bite out of his dinner and just sigh. It's fucking heartbreaking.
That's cool. That sounds good.
I think if this game is super cheap on sale later in the year, or I guess in 2018, and you're a bit curious, go for it. Highly recommend it.
So that's South Park Fractured But Whole at number 17. Neve, what is the 16th best game of the year?
Zuni, if you get to say something. Whatever you want.
Splatoon 2.
No.
Sonic Mania.
I'd pick Sonic Mania over Splatoon 2. I want Splatoon 2 to stay a bit longer, please.
I think Splatoon 2 is the right choice here.
I don't think so.
They're both remakes.
No, Splatoon 2 is a new game.
Well, then we should get rid of Sonic Mania.
I mean, Assassin's Creed, guys, really? Come on.
Yeah, actually, yeah, fuck that.
No, Assassin's Creed is amazing. This is the best Assassin's Creed game.
Oh, wow, a 7 out of 10.
No, it's way more than that. It's a really good story.
Is Life is Strange Before the Storm that good?
Yes.
Okay, sure. I'm just making sure. I'm not.
You're just taking temperatures.
Yeah. I'm just seeing how you feel. I just want to see your gut reaction. I'd pick Sonic Mania and then I'd pick Splatoon 2. I'd be happy to cut Splatoon 2 personally if you pick Sonic Mania first.
Okay.
I don't think Splatoon 2 should beat Sonic Mania. I think Sonic Mania is fucking awesome.
What's your problem with Splatoon 2?
I think it looks cool. I think it looks like Splatoon. And the majority of what I heard of it was yes, it's more Splatoon. And that's cool, but I already own Splatoon. Sonic Mania is a fucking good Sonic game in 2017. What the fuck? The art assets are amazing. That the shit that went into that intro, the level designs are fantastic. The things they do with the boss fights, the Mean Bean Machine boss fight, that game is great.
Okay, we'll cut Splatoon 2 then. Can I say some nice things about Splatoon 2 then?
Yeah, it's number 16.
Number 16, Splatoon 2. That game, when you put the game into your Switch and you play online, it works right away. Isn't that a huge fucking achievement for an online game in 2017? How often does that happen?
Pretty often.
Pretty often.
I don't think so. I think you're waiting around for patches and fucking bullshit. You can get a match right away when you put that game into your card.
That's kind of I feel like that's basic functionality on an online game.
Not for a lot of online games.
Destiny 2 works all the time.
Does it work
I
all
can
the
still
time?
get a match in Street Fighter in a second.
I just thought when I played Splatoon 2, I never had any problems. Especially with Nintendo, because they're notorious for being bad
What's
at
the name of that new Squid Girl?
Which one?
Callie and Mari, is it?
No, the newer Squid Girls.
I don't know. You got me.
Well, they're fucking great.
Yeah, they're brilliant. I can't remember their names.
I guess.
I always skip ahead when they're talking, to be honest. Callie and Mari got missing. Or, well, Mari's gone missing. No, Callie's gone missing.
Because everyone fucked up. Everyone fucked up and made the wrong decision.
I think we can get rid of Splatoon 2.
I love that game.
I believe you.
Splatoon 2 is in my top 5 of the year. It's my favorite game to play online on the Switch. Nintendo are terrible at the internet, but not when it comes to Splatoon.
No, and Salmon Run seemed awesome.
Salmon Run is actually really, really good.
Yeah, because remember I was like, this looks deadly. And
Yeah.
you're like, looks shite.
Yeah, it looks shite. It's actually very good. The music in it is so intense as well. And I've played this game with friends in real life, which is a big first for me in video games.
Playing with friends?
Online.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah, like I played locally with friends, but like actually like messaging someone, hey, I'm online, bro, you want to play? And we played.
Okay.
I like, that's not a world I've ever
I can't
experienced.
believe I got rid of Destiny 2 so soon.
I think Splatoon 2 is better than Destiny 2.
I don't think that's right, but it doesn't matter anymore.
It's so
Guys, all I'm saying is we can still bring Battlegrounds back.
No.
Fuck no.
Um,
Alright, so are we calling Sonic Mania or are we calling Resident Evil 7, John?
or Neve, I gotta hear your argument. Like, I'm not saying I'm going to cut Assassin's Creed, but I need to hear your love for this game. Like, what is it that makes it? Because like, it looks cool. It looks like Assassin's Creed crossed with Destiny.
It is literally a giant map of Egypt for you to explore. Like, the amount of locations is staggering. The amount of just geographical differences.
Is there shit to do in them?
Yes.
Good
And like
shit,
every
like, actually
location,
good side quests.
really good side quests. There's good side quests with narrative stuff, with like the locals, depending on
What's
the
the
area.
best side quest you've done?
I like so much about it. Like, you get a base, kind of like Metal Gear, and you can clear it out. And that stuff is really fun. Getting a chain of like 20 super silent assassinations is super satisfying. You marking everyone, you gauging who's the strongest. You get like, I'm going to set fire to this. I'm going to put this guy to sleep. I'm going to kill this guy, snipe this guy. Like, you are building a game plan from scratch to take out an entire group of people. And that is one side of the map. Like, I can play that, and then I can go out of that and I can talk to a little girl who's selling knockoff statues from Siwa in the city, and then her recognizing my accent from being a person from that area. It feels like a living world that's working without my involvement. I don't feel important, and that's kind of amazing. Like, I feel this world exists without me.
I'm going to cut Sonic Mania.
Okay.
A fantastic game.
Fucking amazing game. I had like that's one of my favorite games I played this year. It's fucking brilliant.
Those developers should be so fucking proud of themselves.
Yeah, way to actually do something with Sonic. I think that game is a slam dunk across the board. If anything, I think people are too weak to properly appreciate it. But I think it's fucking amazing that it's 2017 and one of our top 15 games of the year is a Sonic game. Like, absolute fair play to Christian Whitehead.
Yeah. Force isn't on this list though.
No, it will be next year as best old game.
Yeah, absolutely.
When we realise the error of our ways.
Yeah.
Whose turn is it?
I believe it's Neve's.
Oh.
This is some shit. There's no easy picks left at all.
We got rid of Battle Chef Brigade, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah.
And we got rid of Destiny 2.
We did.
We did, unfortunately.
I guess from looking at it, it's Doki Doki Literature Club.
No way. Not a fucking chance.
Me and Neve have
Did your
not
anime
played
girl
this.
game like really hit you?
Yes. It hit me very, very hard.
Okay.
That is one of the most like I can go on about it now, I can go on about it later, but
It's really hard to go on about it without spoiling it as well, which is tricky.
I think I can.
You can?
Uh-huh.
Because I don't want to get spoiled on that game. I'd like to play it.
But then
okay.
But
What
I might
goes-
not know if I like that game,
what
but I'd
goes
like to
before
play it.
Doki Doki Literature Club?
Life is Strange Before the Storm,
No.
Assassin's Creed Origins.
No.
Resident Evil 7. It's gone pretty far. For a game.
What? Like, what's your problem with Resident Evil 7? Both of you have played this
Okay.
game. In a rare instance, all three of us has played Resident Evil 7, and when we all talked about it, we all very much enjoyed that game.
Okay, I love the first half of that game in the house.
I love the first third of that game.
I really don't like the second half of that game.
The second
at
half
all.
is it's a shitty first person shooter.
Yeah,
the second
not
half
good.
isn't even survival horror.
But-
like I felt
It's-
ripped off when I beat Resident Evil 7.
It starts off strong.
That
it
last
ends
boss
weak.
is terrible.
Okay, Okay, and like, I don't think you're wrong, but I think games do start off strong and they can get worse, and I think this game totally does get worse. But
That's
do you not
a terrible argument!
No, you're not letting me finish. Do you not think the stuff that happened in the first few hours of that game isn't kind of amazing?
It is, totally.
Like,
which is why I haven't cut it yet.
Yeah, so much fun.
The boss battle
I was just
with
really
Jake with the car.
The hardcore wrestling match in the garage is amazing. Yeah. And that is what has propelled it this far. I feel it's now run out of stuff.
It has some amazing set pieces, but I'm just so disappointed that it didn't keep them going for the entire game.
And this goes further than everything else on this list for you.
I mean,
this is where this stops.
I would get rid of Samus Returns before it.
How do you feel about that?
I love the Metroid series, but I guess that's a personal thing for me.
Yeah, you said series. Do you love Metroid Samus Returns?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite Metroid games for sure.
Did you love it more than Resident Evil 7?
Let me think.
Okay, let me just bring you back to Resident Evil 7 because I think we've forgotten here. We have forgotten.
This is a game we played in January of last year, so we played it 11 months ago.
And this Resident Evil as a series is a cockroach. It just doesn't go away, and it keeps reinventing itself, and it keeps surviving. We have a first-person Resident Evil where you use videotapes to play as a second protagonist. That is cool, just using a videotape to get a second side story.
Sure, that's cute.
You get to do amazing puzzles, the birthday puzzle room is a really cool puzzle.
That is cool. That's very good.
That's one of the top moments, I think, just in Resident Evil series, that puzzle room.
Yeah, the latter half of the top 10. Yeah, okay.
Okay, Niamh.
Did you not find it scary?
No, honestly.
Really?
But that's okay. That's okay. Fear is very personal and specific to people. I thought it was effective at doing what it was doing, but the thing is, the second half of this game is genuinely bad.
I don't think it's genuinely. I think it's weak. I think it's okay, but I don't think it's if you contrast that to Evil Within 2, I don't think it's any worse than any of the corridor shooting scenes in that.
The difference there is that the Evil Within there's I'd say there's less than 3 hours of corridor shooting in Evil Within 2. And they are interspersed with really cool cutscenes, really awesome open world bits, and then they're done. And even a lot of the corridor stuff, it's this weird haunted house stuff. I think the stealth bits in Evil Within 2 are bad. But
I think the Evil Within 2 is a way better game than Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, it really sounds like it.
I completely do. If I don't know, looking at the list, if this is what you guys want to go, I'm just surprised because I felt we all really like this.
I messaged you guys after I beat Resident Evil 7 and I was like, this is a shit game.
All right. I'm perfectly fine with cutting Metroid Samus Returns as long as Resident Evil 7 follows it directly.
I mean...
Can I say some things about Metroid Samus Returns as I cut it?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. This is a game that was released post-Switch on the 3DS. Visually, this game does not look particularly nice. It's serviceable graphically. Gameplay and map-wise, it's fantastic. There's some great abilities that you get in this game, some great bosses. Some of the boss battles are fantastic. This is a Game Boy game remake, and the original Game Boy game I absolutely loathe. I fucking hate that game. So to see them actually just do a remake of this game, it's done by a Spanish studio.
I hope they get to make their own game.
Me too.
Because they seem to want to make their own Metroid, and they've proved they can do it. And stuff like the parry mechanic.
Yeah, the parrying is really, really fun. And I guess for me, it's just that 6 months ago, I didn't know this game even existed. Because they announced it at E3 2017, and they said it was out in 2 months' time. Which is fucking crazy that they kept this under wraps. There was that ROM that someone made, AM to AM to or something like that. Remake. And I've heard good things about that game as well, and Nintendo did a big cease and desist on that. They were very, very adamant about getting rid of it as soon as they could.
Yeah.
And it's probably impartial to this game that they were pushing secretly. But I honestly thought the Metroid franchise was dead. But with this game coming out, just to remind you of Samus and her adventures, and the fact that Metroid Prime 4 is in development, is a big deal to a lot of Metroid fans out there. I think anyone who did play this game got a lot out of it.
I think that's a very adequate send-off for the game. And,
Yeah, I think that's as
fair
far
play
as
to
it gets, and it's cool.
15?
Yeah,
14.
14.
14.
Yeah.
That's
what was
great.
15?
Sonic Mania.
Sonic Mania, cool.
Yeah, so it's cool that Sonic and Samus have had their...
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
That's lovely, and that Resident Evil has also had a nice time.
Neve, do you think Resident Evil should go further?
No, I think it should stop here. Looking at everything else, I don't think it should beat anything. I just don't think it's an awful game.
I really like it.
I think
I
it's
really
a
like that game.
good game with an exceptional first half and a terrible second half.
I think it's a very Resident Evil second half.
I feel like that is excusing it.
I enjoyed it. Like, I enjoyed there being loads of mold monsters and being given this time on the boat with my arsenal of weapons to just blow them the fuck up and do kind of stupid environmental puzzles and just go up and down. Like, I like that stuff generally, and I like the boat setting.
It just felt
came out of
so
nowhere.
far
I didn't like
away
the boat setting.
from the way that game started.
Yeah, I just really like the survival horror in the spooky hillbilly house. That's such a great idea.
Yeah, I felt like
and I love hillbillies.
The first 3 hours of that game, for me, were like, oh my god, this is Game of the Year potential.
So
it's this
funny.
bold new era for Resident Evil, and you just watch it like tumble backwards in its own shit for the rest of that game.
It's two games. It's two very separate games kind of stitched together. I don't know.
It just turns into one enemy at the end, which is a bit of a shame because I love the family.
I like the family, and I think the family is cool, and maybe they should have just done a whole thing with them and like cults, and that would have been a
Definitely.
much better game.
There's a certain
I had a good
fun in-
time.
no, it's a charming, crazy game.
It looks good, like it looks great as well. Like I felt really genuinely tense when Jake was chasing me around the house.
I really like the bit where the cop comes in and he gets the shovel. That's such good horror.
It is, and like you
So
see him
gory.
later on. Oh, it's a gory game, and it's a scary game, I think. And I think it was also a proof of concept game for VR.
I really like found footage and horror as well, so it's good that they kind of lent into that too.
Yeah, they picked, like, they executed their homages correctly. Like, I think there was a lot of Blair Witch in that found footage stuff. Resident Evil 7 made Resident Evil as a series viable again, I think, after 6.
Like I do have big problems with that game. What I will say is like the parts of that I love, and I really think those first 3 hours, they're maybe 3 of the best concurrent hours I've played this year. Like they're fucking exceptional, and like that last boss fight with what's the hillbilly's name?
Jake.
Jesus Christ, incredible.
Who's next? You, John?
I don't remember. Do you guys remember?
I think I cut Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's you, John. Here we go.
Oh my god, this is tough.
John, are you going to break my heart? Or are you going to break Neo's heart? Which one?
Okay, I'm not saying we should cut it now, but I think we gotta have a talk about Mario Odyssey at some point. Because it's a game that we've all talked about that we're lukewarm on, but it's very telling that it's made it this far as well. Like, I'm really...
I don't know. It's because, like, for me, that game could go leave at any point. I don't really care.
What about you, Brian?
I don't want to leave just yet. I'd be real bummed if Assassin's Creed Origins beat Mario Odyssey. I don't know why. I just think that's like...
Neither of you guys know the Assassin's Creed series. I'm telling you.
I have played 2 of them.
Which ones have you played?
2 in Brotherhood, the good ones.
They're not the good ones.
Everyone says they're the good ones.
I'm telling you, they're not the good ones.
Which is the good one, Neve? 3?
3?
Admit to the people you think 3 is good.
Yeah, 3.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
3 and Black
I
Flag.
should be a fucking lawyer.
Is Black Flag the good one?
Black Flag is pretty good, and Syndicate's good.
God, there's so many of them.
Okay.
I'm mad, like, I don't want to cut Mario Odyssey just yet.
Okay.
And Life is Strange.
Life is Strange is cool. It is genuinely cool. The writing is so much better. It looks better. The scenarios are better. I mean, the only thing keeping it in at this point is your love of it, Neve.
Mm-hmm. Well...
But what do you love the most?
I love Life is Strange. I think Origins is just a fantastic game. I really do. Like, I honestly think if you like stealth gameplay, if you like story-driven content, if you like Egypt as a setting, so much stuff can happen. I managed to get alligator to follow me into an encampment where he ate a guy who was peeing. Like, it's a fun, crazy game where interesting things can happen. It's huge. It's a massive world. And it's such a feat to make that be what it is. And I think they captured it so well, and I think it looks gorgeous for what it is as well. Like, it's a really pretty game. Its photo mode is cool. Bake is cool. Like,
Is Assassin's Creed Origins better than Evil Within 2?
I don't think it is.
It's close enough for me, to be honest.
If you had to pick between Life is Strange Before the Storm and Assassin's Creed, I'm not saying that's your choice, but just...
I would choose a Life is Strange before Assassin's Creed. We know where I stand with Assassin's Creed. It's going to be on my personal top whatever.
So is Metroid for me.
So I'm like, if we want to take it out before the top 10.
What is it?
12th.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, we can take it out.
Assassin's Creed Origins. That year break, or I guess that 2-year gap, really, really helped Ubisoft.
It is the best Assassin's Creed game they've done.
Cool.
It really is.
And they should be proud of themselves.
So if you like that series, if you think you might like that series, this is a game for you to check out. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
I don't like this game. Doki Doki.
Fuck you! I knew it. I knew you'd pick that. I knew it.
Oh my god! Yeah. Well, like what?
We haven't played it.
Yeah, we haven't played it. It's a stupid dating sim.
I'm sure it's really.
And I think it should beat the other stupid dating sim on this list.
What is that? Persona 5?
Danganronpa.
No way.
Even I'm like, no.
Doki Doki Literature Club is... I have enjoyed it so much more than Danganronpa V3, hands down, and I've spent significant time with both of them. And I love Danganronpa.
I read the ending of Danganronpa 3, and I think that sounds cool as a concept to do within these games.
I'm really, really enjoying it.
If you want to talk about things that are cool conceptually, Doki Doki fucking Literature Club.
I mean, this fight's between you guys. You're the guys who play Danganronpa and Doki Doki, and I don't give a shit about your anime wives, so...
Okay.
First of all, that's a lie.
Now, John, I think once a year you get a game that speaks to you personally, but only you've played, and I call it the John Selfish Pick. And Doki Doki Literature Club is your selfish pick of this year.
And it should beat Danganronpa. Like, how is that any more... Like, how is Doki Doki any more different than you liking Danganronpa? Explain that.
Because we both played Danganronpa.
Yeah, and I think Doki Doki is a better game. So what's selfish about that?
Because only you've played it, and you're
really
aggressively
it's not...
trying to push this game.
I'm not saying... I'm not... But
Tell
I'm just
us
saying...
why. Tell us why. Why should Doki Doki go further?
First of all, Doki Doki is a free game. You can just... Anyone can play it. It's like automatically good value. If I had paid 20 or 30 quid for this, I would still be pushing for it.
So
that's how good I think it is.
The game only costs time.
Yes.
Okay, so what's the other good stuff about it?
The other good stuff is that it takes all these really stupid, weird, dumb tropes of the dating sim. And like, I don't play many dating sims. I play this and I play Danganronpa and Persona, if you want to consider that. And it makes you think about them in a weird fucking way that you don't get. The horror in it is the most effective horror I have played in years. This game actually genuinely frightened me. I was like really creeped out to play. There was a point in it where I was scared to turn off my laptop, and then when I did, I was scared to go back into the game. That's how much it fucks with you. And like, does the ending of Danganronpa sound like it does anything close to that?
But you think we'll get that same feeling?
I don't know, because you haven't played it. But I have played Danganronpa, and I can tell you it doesn't give me that same feeling.
I think what I know about the ending of Danganronpa is it's more like thematic with what the other Danganronpas is. It's a very third game, so it would appeal to fans or either not appeal to them based on that.
Yeah, it seems like Doki Doki can work as, hey, you don't need to know too much about other stuff. You can just play this standalone game.
Yeah. And like, as a side note, like, one thing that does irk me is the selfish thing. Because like, the only reason I haven't cut Persona 5 is because I know you like it that much.
I love that game.
And like, Neve has no investment in it.
But you have Doki Doki and you have Yakuza 0, and those are your like Special John games.
Yeah, but you both have those games as well. Like, you can't say I'm, like, different in this.
But
like, I'm just fighting for games I like same way you
it's
both
just
are.
that
I want to hear...
It's just that Doki Doki Literature Club is on this list. This is the one game that neither of us have played.
But even beyond that, I feel like because you don't want to spoil what Doki Doki is or what's important in it, like, we can't even get a glimpse of it. Like, I think I've spoken about, like,
but like
games I've liked
Like, I really want to play this game, but I don't know if I'd like it or not.
I'm just saying...
Well, then what about Life is Strange Before the Storm, then?
Well, like, I have a whole pile of reasons why I think that game should go really far. And they're written here.
That's cool. I should have written stuff down.
Like, how the gameplay is worked into narrative pieces. The moment when Chloe is in Rachel Amber's house with the family and she has to set the dinner table in this really tense, real way that you're visiting, say, a friend's house and their parents fucking hate you, or you have a secret or something. And I've been in that situation. You can, even if you aren't, you can feel how tense and terse that is. And Chloe's trying to make jokes to try and lighten the mood, and the mom and the dad just don't respond to it in a really awkward way that you can imagine a teenager going through. Just like moments like we both liked with the toolbox and the new stepdad replacing the father's toolbox with his like larger, more impressive one, and Chloe just being annoyed by that. The dream sequences in it. Again, a mission is it the Shakespeare play in the second one, and how like that is very core to the characters explaining their feelings, but it's also a gameplay mode built into it as well. You have to act out the scenes, you have to memorize what line comes next, and you have to play the crowd, but it also works into the overall story of Chloe and Rachel's relationship. I just think it's a very well-flowing, crafted game.
Sure, okay. Brian.
Yeah.
Danganronpa V3.
I love the Danganronpa series. I'm in the last part of this game and the story has just gotten fucking wild. I love the characters in this game. It's like it you know how in these JRPGs, well not JRPGs, but like it's really hard to come up like third time lucky with a good roster of characters, but they've done it right with this game. There's a good mix. I actually prefer the characters in this game more to the second game or even the first game. I just think that they've done a great mix of them, and the surviving few at the very end are probably the most interesting surviving few out of 1 and 2, because that's usually a big weakness of Danganronpa 1 and 2 is that the last kind of 4 or 5 characters, there's maybe 2 or 3 good ones, and then the other ones you're like, I wish they were killed off, because it seems like my favorite characters were killed off for kind of wow factor, but in this case they've killed off some of my favorite characters early for wow factor, but the ones they've kept around are also very entertaining, and the ones that I thought were lame, who ended up either being the killers or the killed, suddenly became much more interesting than they should have. I love weird, goofy Japanese detective games. This is one of these. I'm playing it in the Vita. I play it on my way to and from work. It's part of my daily routine to play this game.
So where does that put us with Doki Doki versus Danganronpa?
I really, really want to play Doki Doki Literature Club, but I don't know anything about this game.
I mean, I'm okay with cutting it if that's what it is. I think I haven't heard any good reasons why Danganronpa should go ahead of it, honestly. But
the only reason
the
only reason it goes ahead for me is just because I played it and I liked it, but I don't know.
That's a bad reason given the nature of this. Like, some of us are going to have played no games and other people will have played, like 2 people will have played one thing, you know. It's like that's kind of like not the way this
I'd like
should work.
A better reason for quitting Doki Doki than that. And just the thing with me, like Doki Doki is I've heard
really, really good things about.
I would put that game ahead of nearly everything else on this list. There's one game this year I like better than Doki Doki. Like, that's how much I like it. But the problem is, I get that I can't convey that without going into huge spoilers for the game, which and even
can you hint on how it even subverts that genre? Like, what does it do that makes it just not a dating sim? Like, I'm not even just fucking with you here. I don't know. I know you don't know, and but the thing is,
I think to even tiptoe at what it gets into is to take away a lot of it, because basically, like, on your second run through that game, the most enjoyable thing is, like, you feel like there's something going wrong. And you're like, what the fuck could this possibly be? Like, it just doesn't make sense. It makes no sense at all. Then the reveal happens, and it all clicks, and it delivers on it 100%. And I think that's fucking great.
And does it keep you in that sense of kind of like, I feel something is off for a long time, or like...
About 2 hours.
That's pretty cool.
Maybe an hour and a half. But then when it actually delivers, it's really, like, frightening and disturbing, and just, it felt personal in a really strange way as well. And it could only exist as a video game. You could not do the stuff this game does in any other medium. Now look, like, if I gotta cut it, I gotta cut it. That is my impassioned argument for this game. I can't really say anything else about it without spoiling it. John, I wish you guys had played it.
No, like, I'm definitely gonna play this, but like, this is something I want to try out there. I'm cool with cutting Mario Odyssey before Danganronpa V3 and Doki Doki Literature Club. Do you want to do that?
That would be 11.
Yeah, it's not in our top 10 then.
Like,
I don't want Mario Odyssey to be in our top 10, and I'm the one who's...
Yeah, like, this game for me, I had no expectations going into this whatsoever, and it was a fine time. Like, I played it and it existed. You guys, this game, this is a Mario game. You're the guys who are meant to care about this. Like,
I guess I wonder how much of my own, of like, our sentimentality is keeping Mario here. Because I think neither of us liked the idea of cutting it, but it didn't blow any of us away either.
I think this is where it stops, to be honest. There's some crazy amount of detail in that game, and then a complete lack of it at the same time. And it's those two fucking issues that are conflicting with each other that really just makes me not enjoy the game as much as I should. You know when Mario is asleep, he recites different types of pasta. Isn't that fucking amazing?
That's cool.
There's only 14 levels in this game.
I wouldn't even have noticed that. I wouldn't have given even a chance to find that.
Yeah, I didn't spend enough time with it too. Like, I beat the game, but I didn't want to play anymore after that.
Yeah, and it's crazy that it has all this beautiful detail to it, but it doesn't allow you to experience it because you just want to get it over and done with. And you don't really stop and smell the roses in that game because there isn't anything to stop. It's really good, but
and
it's not.
Critically, I guess.
Once again, this will be on a bunch of other top.
It's gonna get its due,
yeah.
And I don't feel any need, I guess, to defend it because like it didn't hit me very hard. Like, it was fun. It's really fun.
Yeah,
but
this game is not my top 5 at all. Like this, it's in none of our top 5s. This game should not be in our top 10.
Yep, sure.
It belongs at number 11.
I guess that's number 11.
Okay, Barry Mario Odyssey, a disappointing masterpiece.
I really like the seal creatures designs. They were cute.
In the Snow Kingdom?
Yeah,
they're great.
Cute.
That little guy with the beak in the last level.
He was good.
Oh my god, I love playing as him.
Playing as Bowser was good. Is that a super spoiler?
Yeah.
Whatever, it's Game of the Year. Like, I feel like we're allowed to spoil things here.
Yeah, fuck it. Except Doki Doki Literature Club.
Yeah, except that game because it's like...
You can't. I really want to play that game.
By the end of this conversation, I feel like you need to spoil it.
I'll probably play... No, I'm going to play it over Christmas. I promise. I'll play it over Christmas.
I genuinely think even me spoiling... Like, look, I'll cut it next. I'll cut it next. Because I don't want to... If to push it further, I'd have to spoil it, and I don't want to do that. And I think even if I spoiled it, it would be significantly weaker than just experiencing it.
Okay, so Super Mario is out. Mario Odyssey is out at 11.
Yep.
Whose go is it now?
I don't know anymore.
Yeah, do you want to...
I mean, I'm okay with saying Doki Doki.
Okay, so
but John, I promise I'm going to play this game over Christmas break. I promise.
Be too late. No, that's fine. Look.
That got into... That's number 10.
Yeah, it's in our top 10.
We're in our top 10.
John, I beat Mario Odyssey, and that's fucking brilliant.
I'm so upset.
And okay, but John, you know how like a year ago, imagine telling like yourself from a year ago, being like, dude, there's gonna be some like weird...
A year ago, I'd be like, oh man, are Brian and Neve gonna be mean at the game of the year again? And I'd be like, yeah, they're totally gonna be mean again.
But also...
I haven't been mean.
But you wouldn't know that we were being mean because like a Steam waifu game dating sim was gonna beat a fucking Mario AAA title.
I think I've said everything I gotta say about Doki Doki. It's a great game. It's my second favorite game of the year. I think it's an incredible feat from a tiny studio that costs nothing, and I think that should be acknowledged. It's fucking brilliant. People, please play it.
I'm sure the listeners that have
What was
played
that
it,
face, Neve?
I'm just scared.
Neve, you have to play this game. Like,
I know, I will.
can't
No,
wait.
I have it
at this
downloaded.
point, I'm just done. I don't want to talk about this game with you two anymore.
He's got another game that he's gonna pull out all the stops for. He's got to save his energy for that. But let's just say that the people who have played this game, Doki Doki Literature Club, that are listening to this podcast right now, they are throwing their tables in agreement with you, John. Because they're like, no, it should be number 1, number 2, and number 3.
I will lead you, my friends. Okay, fuckers, let's talk about Danganronpa V3
Cut it.
and Life is Strange.
Oh wait, Life is Strange with Danganronpa V3. I'm cool with cutting Danganronpa V3 if you want to like.
Yeah, I'd like to keep Life is Strange longer.
But
Okay,
that's as long as it goes.
do you want to hear my big reason for Life is Strange?
Did we not already?
No, no, my genuine, I have it written in caps. Proper on-screen lesbian kiss, not a peck, and no one dies.
It's pretty good.
Those are some tropes that they subverted right there.
Yeah, like in the original Life is Strange, in order for Max and Chloe to kiss,
Yeah,
like,
so
Chloe
it's
needs to
completely
die.
selfish.
I thought
Yeah.
Life is like that's the thing that fucking drives me insane about that stuff. And like, look, I know you don't got a whole lot to pick from when it comes to like representation, and so you gotta, if you see shit like that, you gotta go for it. But that's what drives me, just like that's what pissed me off nearly the most about that game. It's like, just fucking make it about lesbians, you goddamn cowards.
Stop
And it's
fucking-
awesome that they went for it this time.
They didn't hover. They did it.
And even beyond like Chloe and Rachel, there's another girl who's Rachel's friend, who's Chloe's friends with, who's like, I'm gonna ask Rachel out. Like there is LGBT kids in this, like who are out and who are looking for dates, and that's not what the first game had, and that's one of the biggest shining aspects of this over the first game.
Absolutely. But Danganronpa's got some pretty hot waifus.
Yeah.
I mean, I totally accept that argument, Neve. I mean, I'm looking forward to playing more Life is Strange as well.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to playing more Danganronpa as well.
Okay, let's cut Danganronpa and then let's cut Life is Strange.
Okay.
So Danganronpa's number 10, Life is Strange is number 9. Does that look right in the numbers?
Is that it?
No, Doki Doki's 10, so Danganronpa is 9,
Oh yeah,
and
Life is
Strange is 8.
8. Okay, so that leaves us with 7 games. Is it?
Brian, do you want to... I feel like Danganronpa maybe needs a little more of a eulogy. Like, what do you like about that game?
They are some of the fucking strangest games I've ever played. They are absolutely ridiculous, but the cases and puzzle solving are grounded in a reality of our own, where the conclusions and the aha moments always seem validated and realistic. That's a huge achievement, that it's this crazy fucking game, but it has these rules and it sticks to them.
Yeah.
I find that when something is at its most creative is when you have these tiny little like confined spaces in which you have to tick a certain amount of boxes, because there are these ridiculous murders, and some of them are very, very popular murders that are kind of in Sherlock Holmes books, things like that. And the reveal of how they do it is usually in the last sentence of it, and it's always handled super well. And I'm still always second guessing the whodunit when it asks you, pick a student from the class who you think did the murder, and you're still never 100% sure, but when you do, you go, yeah.
I feel like...
And it flows so well narratively
Like,
that
from
way.
the outside looking in, those characters shouldn't be as endearing as they are. They should be so much more tropey than they are.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
I feel like the first hour you spend with them, they are, and then everything past that, you begin to see what's going on underneath, and it's super fucking cool.
Yeah, especially at the start, they feel just like cosplay templates.
Mm-hmm.
But then you kind of learn little bits about who they are and what their ultimate ability is. Like, I really like the Ultimate Tennis Pro, and what he physically looks like versus what his ability is does not match at all, because he's tiny. He's like 3 foot something, but he's the best tennis player in the world. Love that little dude so much.
Okay, we have 7 games left Do you think maybe we should do a rundown of the list up until this point, or should we cut 2 more and do it at number 5?
I think we should do it 7
let's do it now.
because that has the top 5 and the 2 guys that didn't make it.
Okay. 41, Drawn to Death, which I stand by, the only bad game on this list. Well, actually, Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah, I'd put... Yeah.
But anyway, we messed up on that one.
No, like, it there's some good stuff in that game. It's just terrible.
Nice.
Number 40, Golf Story. Number 39, Xenoblade 2.
Oh, dear.
Number 38,
Echo.
Number 37, Kona. Number 36, Dream Daddy.
Number 35.
These are all out of order because we've been marking them as we go. So number 35 is Mass Effect Andromeda. Number 34 is Star Fox 2.
Yeah.
Number 33 is Battlegrounds. Number 32 is Fight and Rage. Number 31 is Fire Emblem Echoes.
Number 30.
30 is...
Could be anything.
If you guys see it, feel free to chime in. It's Super Mario Maker.
Yeah.
Number 29 is...
Snipper Clips.
Oh.
Snipper Clips. Number 28
Disgaea
is
5.
Disgaea 5. Number 27. This is hard.
Snake Pass.
Snake Pass.
Oh,
My
jeez.
little Snake Pass.
Number 26.
Number 26. Horizon... No, that's not number 26. Holy shit, is that number 26?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
No fucking... Wait.
No, that's 20.
20, I think that's 20.
Yeah.
It's 26 then. I'm so sorry, dear listeners. Is that it there? No.
No, that's Horizon Zero Dawn.
That's mad.
Number 26, Night in the Woods.
Oh,
Number
yeah.
25, Little Nightmares. 24 is Tekken 7. Number 23 is Uncharted Lost Legacy. Number 22 is Guilty Gear Revelator 2.
Oh my god.
Number 21 is Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice.
Oh my
Number
God.
20 is Horizon Zero Dawn. Number 19 is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Number 18 is Battle Chef Brigade. Number 17 is South Park The Fractured But Whole. Number 16 is Splatoon 2. Number 15 is
Sonic Mania.
Sonic Mania. Number 14,
Metroid Samus Returns.
Samus Returns. Number 13 is Resident Evil 7. Number 12,
Assassin's Creed Origins.
Assassin's Creed Origins. Number 11,
Was that Mario Odyssey?
that was Mario Odyssey. Number 10 was Doki Doki Literature Club. Number
9 is Danganronpa.
Danganronpa. Number
8.
8 was Life is Strange.
Life is Strange, yeah.
So we have 7 games left. And so
Jeez.
in no particular order, Cuphead,
Yeah.
Evil Within 2,
Whoa.
Nier Automata, Persona 5,
Woo!
Yakuza 0,
Oh.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. Is that 7 games?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Uh-oh. Oh no! What are we missing?
Yeah, wait. Cuphead 1, Evil Within 2,
This happens every year.
Nier Automata's 3, Persona 5 is 4, Yakuza 0, Breath of the Wild. What the fuck?
What happened?
That's 7. No, that's 7.
That's 7.
Is
Are we
it?
just
Yeah,
too
1, 2,
tired?
3, 4, 5. Oh wait, that's 6.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Wait, does that mean Mario Odyssey's number 10 then?
Yes.
Oh, fuck that.
What happened?
What the I don't know. The wine?
The wine. It's the top 6 Let's Fight a Boss games of the year.
Okay, so that's a top 5 and an extra
So this is a
one.
list of 40. How did we count 40? We all counted 41 though.
Is are numbers real? I bet someone is like, no, you fucking dummies, you just didn't count this one properly. I don't want. Okay, I'm cool with this. I don't want Mario Odyssey in our top 10 because I think that's like a moral thing.
It's in.
You can swap it with something else.
The order of elimination is concrete.
Fuck. Can't believe we made it into our top 10. We're fucking fools.
Fools.
Can I pick a game?
Yeah.
Zelda Breath of the Wild does not make it into our top 5.
I don't know. I feel like Zelda should be Evil Within 2.
Really?
If you're cool with that, I'm cool with that. I haven't played Evil Within 2.
I really think Evil Within 2 is an amazing game. Taneev's Notebook.
Oh, goddamn notebook.
She wrote stuff ahead of time. She's allowed to talk about it. It's a good technique. I wish I did that.
The level of environmental detail in that game. The props. There's different tiles. I counted so far 7 different tile types. The detail on the door and the brass knobs are always different in different locations. It has impossible spaces with like giant curtains on black and white tiled floor. It looks cool and it uses those spaces. You see Sebastian being thrown down a hallway and it's just the camera follows him and he flips and will fall sideways. It blends different gameplay modes. You've open world, you've mirror puzzles, you've shooty corridor, you've stealth, you even have like a Batman Scarecrow style puzzle. It is just, this is the true spiritual successor to Resident Evil 4. It's a really, really great survival horror game. For me, it surpasses what Breath of the Wild is, but that's me. I'd want to hear your arguments on it.
I mean, it's difficult because I haven't impassioned to argue for Breath of the Wild. It's for the first 15 hours.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a point in that game where you're it's about 10 hours into that game, and you've explored a bit of that world, and you're on the horse, and the sun sets in front of Kakariko Village, and it's the best fucking game you've ever played in your life.
Yeah, like, totally.
Yeah. Then the rest of the game plays out, and it isn't as good as that moment, and detracts from the best game you've ever played in your life.
Like, when I think of Breath of the Wild now, I don't really think of how I felt at the start. That's something I have to actively remember. Yeah. I think of the rest of it, and I'm like... Like, I really... Those boss battles fucking suck.
They did, and the dungeons were absolutely atrocious. And some of my favorite things about Zelda are the dungeons and the bosses. The open world stuff is really cool. I like the survival crafting because it's a light version of that. I'm playing the DLC at the moment. I have that extra feature where it shows you where you have and haven't been on the map. And I'm exploring places I've never even touched, and I found another village. That's a lot of fun. I'm barely even touching the story DLC because I'm just wandering around the game. It's real strange to come back to it 6 months later when you haven't even touched it or even thought about it. And you're just playing a game where you have Link's extra abilities unlocked, and you have some of the best weapons, and you're just free to roam, and you're not really nervous about getting taken out.
That's where the game kind of fell apart for me, because I loved having to think my way out of those situations, and like once that was taken away, it was a lot of the enjoyment.
I can just brute force my way through that game wherever I am now.
I think when you get so powerful, the cracks start to show. Like when you meet your first group of moblins, it is a tense life or death situation.
It's amazing.
But the more powerful you get, you start realizing that everywhere in the world is just moblins with a different skin on them.
And it starts to feel a little cheap, like in kind of how they recreate difficulty then as well. Because the moblins hit you harder, their tactics don't advance. They take more numbers off you.
Yeah.
I guess I think I can cut Breath of the Wild. I think I think for me, Breath of the Wild's high points are higher than Evil Within's high points, which is difficult, but I think Evil Within 2 was the more succinct experience, and I do think I really did love Evil Within 2, and except for 1 or 2 weak sections in the third quarter, it was so much better than it had any right to be.
Yeah. It's just, I'm looking at this list, and this morning I was thinking Breath of the Wild should be in our top 5, but I'm okay with it being at number 6, just shy of our top 5.
We have traditionally put amazing games at number 6.
Yeah.
I think Splatoon was the first year, was number 6.
Yeah. Because for me, I think Breath of the Wild is my second favorite game of the year overall. It wasn't in the summer, but I just think looking back on it and playing it again, there are some things in that game that it's got something that other games don't. I wish it was better.
Yeah, I wish the majority of that game lived up to its high points. Then you would have a game of the year. I don't think this is that game.
No way, son.
That's Breath of the Wild, number 6, Let's Fight a Boss, game of the year. I mean, it beat so many amazing games to get here.
Yeah.
So we cut an Evil Within 2 next?
I think that's a solid 5.
Yeah.
the best survival horror game I've played in years.
Yeah.
Easily.
I think that's so nice that you're saying it's the spiritual successor to Resident Evil 4.
It just, like, you know the way when you're playing Resident Evil and the locations just keep changing and you're going to all these crazy places? This has this. And it never stops being top-notch in terms of how it's presented to you.
I have so many little, not procedural, but just little gameplay anecdotes from Evil Within 2. Like all these weird, like the thing I keep saying is that amazing moment I had in Evil Within 1 where a bunch of enemies were running at me, they ran through an oil puddle, I shot the oil puddle and they just all collapsed while running towards me on fire. That was every hour of the Evil Within 2. And it was fucking amazing. And I think if you like open world game, and like it's an intimate open world, that's what I love about it. It's like there's just little knickknacks everywhere, there's little things to look at everywhere, and the town is beautiful. God damn, it is a fantastic game, and I'm totally happy to have that at number 5.
It has some of the scariest monster designs I've come across in a long time. They really freaked me out. Really good sound design, really good animation, loads of bespoke little elements to it.
Is
really good.
Is the combat good? Are the tank controls good? That kind of stuff?
Yeah, like they feel good, and I think when you start leveling up a gun, like when you start getting that shotgun places, that shooting feels nice to me. But he's a bit shit at the start. The Sebastian sucks ass at the start. He can't hold a gun at all.
I nearly liked that because it was so difficult. But yeah.
Number 4.
It's Cuphead.
Yeah, it's Cuphead.
There's no way. Like when you look.
I'm so glad Cuphead's in our top 5. I love Cuphead.
Cuphead is fucking brilliant.
I got to play a bit more Cuphead when I was in Finland, when I was visiting friends. I got to play co-op with Dima. This is the best looking game. Well, no. Yeah, fuck it. It's the best looking game.
I think so.
I love Fleischer Brothers animation. I love Rubber Hose animation. When they first showed this game as part of an E3 Indies teaser, when was this? In 2014?
13, I think.
2013? God, it was so long
Actually,
ago.
no, the E3 show was 2014. Their first trailer was 2013.
But I think a lot of us were made aware of it in 2014.
Totally.
And back then, I think it was only like 8, it's supposed to be like 8 bosses. It was like this little kind of Mega Man tribute.
It was originally pitched as a fighting game / shooter.
Yeah, and then it ended up being a nice kind of like, well, I guess kind of brief run and gun, but mostly it's a boss. It's a boss beat 'em up.
It's incredible, and like just, you know, not even like there's like 20 bosses or whatever, maybe it's between 20 and 14, I can't remember. None of them feel the same. They're all distinct. They're all really memorable. You need to have your own tactics for each. It's such a great game.
It feels so good when you beat them.
Totally. And like even just the different weapon options, they let you fight those bosses very, very differently. And like there's such a satisfying feeling when you switch out your weapon load and go back in and just all of a sudden you're destroying the stage of the boss that was giving you trouble the last time.
Nice.
It's the number 4 game and well deserved. But now we have a situation because the games left are Nier Automata, Persona 5, and Yakuza 0.
And each one of us, that's our number 1 game.
This is the first time this has happened. So I want to reveal my late game strategy.
Go on.
I think Yakuza 0 is the number 2 game of the year for Let's Fight a Boss.
You motherfucker.
What does that mean? Like,
it means that
you have to squabble over 1 and 3.
yeah.
It means that you two haven't played it. I've played both your games. And so I acknowledge it's never going to be number 1. But I think that game is fucking awesome. And I think it deserves number 2.
I think it's the best Yakuza game ever made.
Easily.
Once again, my girlfriend Rebecca, she's playing all of them. And she's playing them in reverse, where she played Yakuza 0, and then she played Yakuza 1 Kiwami. And now she's playing like 3, 4, and she's just playing them like that. You play them and you see that they're working their way backwards from what was Yakuza 0 and how well made that game is and how well designed it is and how it has all these fun mini games. I really, really like the Majima. What's this one? He
runs the cabaret club.
Yeah, he
or the hostess club.
Yeah, it's the hostess club game, and just how fun that is to play.
Yeah, it's an amazing game, but also how do we... That's my proposition.
We see the problem with that is Nier is not a number 3 game, it's a number 1 game. So that would be Nier, Yakuza, Persona, if we could do Yakuza as number 2. So your late game strategy means Nier wins.
Or does it?
See, to me, Nier is a number 2 game.
Yeah, you see, it's a number 2 game for you, but it's not a number 3 game.
No.
So we either have to fight that John moves Yakuza to number 3, which I don't think he's willing to do, or we...
I think you're right, though. I think Nier is a number 2 game.
I'm not. I didn't say that. Nier is a number 1 game.
No, you said it could.
No, I think it's a number 2 game in terms of for Brian.
Persona is a number 3 game or number 1 game.
I don't think Persona is a number 1 game either.
So it seems to me then, what we've kind of all agreed is Persona Nier Yakuza.
No. Okay. You know what?
No.
Okay. I'm just gonna say it out loud. Number 3, Persona 5. Number 2, Yakuza 0. Number 1, Nier Automata.
Yeah.
I have a lot of problems with Nier Automata.
The number one game of the year.
I think there's parts of that are genuinely really badly designed, and I think you were in love with that game, Neve, and you have justified those bad designs in some interesting ways. But I don't think they were like... I just can't see them as good gameplay choices, and I think that's... Let me finish. And I think that's... It was a very frustrating game for me to play. But at the same time, there isn't a game this year I think I have more respect for in terms of its ambition and what it tries to do. And on top of that as well, it's the game that, like, the most Let's Fight a Boss fans have been like, this game is fucking amazing, you should play this, you should do this. And, like, you know, this is a year that's seen this podcast grow a huge amount, and I think it's fucking awesome. It has, and I feel like the opinions of the fans should matter. Like, if you go into the Reddit, most of the comments are like, Nier Automata should win Game of the Year for the Game of the Year discussion. And I'm kind of okay with that. It's not my favorite game of the year, but I think it is a very important game, and I do really appreciate it. And I beat the final ending last night, and that really got me. Really genuinely got me, and I'm okay with that being number 1.
How'd you feel, Neve?
Well, like, happy. Like...
This is your ending, Neve.
Shut up.
Ending N.
Yeah.
Nier Automata.
I think Nier is one of the best games ever made.
Here's the other thing. I don't believe that I love Yakuza 0 as much as you love Nier.
But I think I can explain why it's like I... This is the thing with this. It's like, I think you like a Yakuza, but I think Nier is literally something amazing to come out of gaming. Like, this transcends what gaming is and becomes... Like, this is a video game. This can only exist as its form, and every part of it, its story, its characters, is designed around the fact that it's a video game. Like, so deftly, so amazingly. It's so interconnected. Like, you think about how the gameplay shifts and how you get all those different views, and then how those are used to tell narrative. Like, you go up to the Yora base in the moon, and that's suddenly just a giant circle that you run on an axis. Like, the graphic design of that world is to get across the structure of Yora and the structure of that as a system. And then the openness, freedom of the open world map is this kind of sense of life. And to go from that black and white moment to that, like, even just stuff like that is so expressive as to what that game is. And I think it fulfills that narrative in every aspect of its creation. And I don't know any other game that does that.
I wish I had played that game.
John's got a point.
I totally get that it is that to you. It was not to me. And I don't think it was to Brian either.
The music was really good, Neil. Okay. Could we just do Persona 5 first? I think we're jumping.
Persona 5.
I think we're jumping ahead. All right.
Yeah.
I think I'm the only one here who played and beat Persona 5.
I put 60 hours into it.
60 hours is more than enough.
Nothing to sneeze at.
I've watched it in its entirety.
You've watched it, yeah, because like it takes you about 40 hours to beat Yakuza 0 and about 30 hours to beat Nier Automata.
I was like exactly 30.
Yeah, it takes you 100 hours to beat Persona 5, essentially. It's a long amount of time. I played this over the months of April and May of this year. And I was so hyped about this game for years and years. Pre-ordered it, got the collector's edition, put it in. And you know when it lives up to the hype? That's such a great feeling. I was not disappointed by this game at all.
Like, I mean, it should be because of the time between them. But it is I think it's such an order of magnitude better than Persona 4.
Yeah, I think there are certain limitations with this game because it is a PS3 game ported to the PS4, which is fucking ridiculous. Design-wise, well, like I guess we were talking about Cuphead, but I guess like in terms of HUD menus, like pausing the game in Persona 5 is a delight.
Even just the little shop menus and stuff, all the silhouettes.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of JRPGs and the big sprawling worlds that overwhelm you sometimes. This is a tiny localized area that's relegated to just a few menus and a few kind of streets that you walk to and from, and the waifus. Fantastic. I really, really like the gang as well in Persona 5, the boys and the girls.
I liked hanging out with those guys a lot.
I know some of them are kind of like mishmashes of characters from Persona 3 and Persona 4, but I think there's only so many anime characters you can come up with at this point. I just think like anime is as tropey as you get. There's like, it's very hard to be original anime unless you're talking about something like Made in Abyss, which seems to have done it right for once. But even when you just watch like, I don't know. Do you ever get that feeling with anime that you're just I think, here's this character, here's that character, and you know exactly.
The problem with most modern anime and like why people think modern anime is worse is like a lot of it's just like, to put it really bluntly, it's just like, what is your fetish? Here you go. And so it's nice to see characters that break out from that, and I think the cast of Persona 5 totally do.
Yeah. I really, really like Morgana, the mascot character. Some people find him infuriating. I found the technique with him is not to put him in your party, but just have him as like he's in the background quipping. The quips aren't that bad. They're really, really not that bad. They're annoying, but they're not that bad. Please. The music, holy shit, the music.
That is one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard. Beneath the Mask. And
Beneath
all
the Mask.
The different versions of Beneath the Mask are incredible.
And just even the battle music. When you play a JRPG, you're going to hear that battle music over and over again, because you're going to end up having 10,000 battles in a JRPG. But you hear that intro every single time, and it gets you pumped. Some people didn't really like the layout menu system for the battles, but I really like. Yeah, just some people weren't into it, but I really liked it. I always found that I had a formula with it. And when you visit a new dungeon and you don't know the enemy's weaknesses yet, so you have to experiment. But when you do break through and it targets the weaknesses, and so then the next time you do a run, you've got a nice kind of flow with each of your characters, and you know all their strengths and weaknesses, and you know to use certain characters against certain enemies, and then you can rotate them accordingly. There is some bullshit in the game, like the main character. If the main character dies, the entire party dies and it's game over.
And like sometimes like when you're in a dungeon and like someone hits you with Mudo first turn, like that's infuriating.
It's incredibly frustrating. I think that's a major flaw in the game, especially in a contemporary JRPG. There is some great stuff where like it's got loads of things streamlined so that if you do die against a big boss and you want to get right back into it, you can skip all the bullshit cutscenes because you've already seen them, and you can kind of brute force your way back to where you just died, and you can do your strategy properly this time or learn from your mistake.
That first dungeon is one of the best dungeons I've ever played in an RPG.
Yeah.
It's fucking deadly. But I think that's Persona 5.
Yeah. A very engaging, long-ass game.
What was your experience with Yakuza 0 from what you played with, Neve?
I thought it was like a boring book.
Yeah.
There was
it gets more interesting, I promise.
There was so many just like... And it was weird because they were subtly animated but not fully animated, just like...
That's really jarring at the start, the tier of cutscene, because there's like 5 tiers of cutscene in that game.
And like in between it, like I feel like I played like an hour and a half of weird cutscenes and maybe like 12 minutes of fighting. But even then, I feel like I've done the fighting was like, oh, okay, this is what the fighting will be.
The game does.
The fighting opens up in some form.
Yeah.
You learn a lot of weird styles and stuff.
The story of that game is amazing. It's got so many twists and turns and cliffhangers.
You have to really like beating the shit out of people with your bare hands if the combat is going to stick with you.
That's probably like the weakest part of the game, is that the fighting gets very repetitive,
Really
but then
repetitive,
it's got freshness in every other department, I feel.
Well, like I think that's the thing about it. Like, in spite of those problems and of spite of some like really bizarre mission structure and like some kind of pacing issues, I just fucking love that game. Like, it is so cinematic and its story is so strong that like I was just kept hooked the entire time. And like right from the word go as well, like from minute one, I wanted to see what was happening. The first time I sat down to play Yakuza 0, I played it for like 5 or 6 hours just because I kept wanting to see more and more and more. And that never really let up for the entire game. And like, I even rewatched the ending last night and God, it hits you so hard, especially if you have any investment in those characters and like everything they have to go through in that game and where they start and where they end up. And I just think it's like, it is such a fantastic game. And like I said it before on the podcast, but it's a game about doing the right thing in situations where the right thing is very hard to do. And I think it's fucking awesome to base a story around. And I'm really happy to see it go out at number 2.
Yeah.
I think its setbacks do mean I would not be confident enough in it to push it to number 1. But it is totally my game of the year, and I'm so glad I got to play it.
I think if you've never played a Yakuza game and you're overwhelmed by the franchise, you could play Yakuza 0 and have a good time, because it's its own game. It takes place before the main series, and it has the best story.
I found it kind of frustrating at the start to kind of get to a conclusion before the characters did. I was like, you're being set up, and like there was like it took another 5 minutes before Kiryu was like, I'm being set up, and I was like, yeah, like I wish you can't even skip the dialogue, because when you press X you get this really abrasive noise, so you kind of have to just let everything play out a little bit. You just have to watch it.
You have only played an hour.
Yeah, it's like a J-drama.
Oh yeah.
It's very much a drama.
And like it's got some weird like jankiness, like when you save the game, it brings you to a PS4 menu rather than like an internal menu, doesn't it?
Oh, that's been the way with Yakuza games the entire time.
It's because you know how there's polish and then there's Sega polish, where it's kind of like they've got like things correct in certain ways and then not in other ways.
I don't want to rock the boat here, but like, what stops Yakuza from just being a really good film? Like, why does it have to be a game?
Because it has a big part of it is the tonality. It's like, part of it is just this hyper melodramatic, just fucking really, what I thought was a really great crime story. Like, I loved it. I loved all that. But then the other side of it is this really goofy Tokyo simulator where you're going on dates and you have your own real estate firm and like you're running your own cabaret club and you're just getting into all these really weird episodic little things and meeting these characters who then come back into it. Like, I thought it was fucking awesome watching Kiryu nearly die in a cutscene and like have to really fight to survive, and then 20 minutes later you have to do this like defense of this Michael Jackson stand-in and beat up a bunch of zombies. And I think games can get away with being goofy like that in a way that film and TV cannot, because it's a video game. And
you can believe that it can be serious and
but I
silly.
guess with like Persona and with Nier blends the two together. Like I felt like I wanted to watch. I haven't played a lot of Yakuza, but I felt like I wanted to watch the story play out more. I was like, this is so taking me out of the experience.
well, then another big part of Yakuza is like the whole thing with like when you fight someone in Yakuza, it's very much like it's a clash of wills. You know, that's how they sort things out. They're like, I believe this and I believe this, and we need to fight now. And
yeah, that's pretty much every fight.
that's every fight. That's every boss fight, and especially in the final boss fight, the way the animation, the gameplay mechanics, and all the way they all work together, you're exhausted by the end of that fight. And it feels incredible. It feels like you are just in like an impossible fight with someone who fucking hates you. That's it for me. Like that to me, with Nier, I was hammering the buttons trying to get to the next cutscene because the combat bored me to that degree. But with Yakuza, I there was times when I found it frustrating, but I found the boss battles really like cinematic and narratively driven in a way I didn't get from any other game this year. Neve, you got a number one.
I'm listening. No, I think it's interesting how you really didn't like the Nier battle system at all.
That's the part of Nier I really have trouble seeing your point of view from. I think the combat's kind of terrible.
I never experimented with the weapons or anything because
I did. It's all the same.
Yeah,
I don't think it's all the same at all. I think it's like building a PC or building something that you very want tailored to you. And like, I spent a lot of time trying different things out because like I felt the game gave me the opportunity. I didn't think the boss, like the fighting was hard, but I felt because of that I was like, I'm a slick android. How am I going to kill things in the best but coolest way possible? And I felt like to make that happen, I was really experimenting with my plug-in chips, with what my pod could do, what I could do. And I was coming up with really fun ways of dispatching these little robots. Like I'd make a gravity well, I'd hack the main robot in the middle to create an explosion that would ripple out and kill everything. I was putting that into it myself, and maybe the game doesn't suggest you should do it more, but I think if you want to play around with it, you can add to your own story as a overpowered android.
I guess
in
so.
a flashy way.
Like for me, square, 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 triangle, circle. That was the game.
a lot of dodging.
Yeah.
And you look cool when you dodge.
You do the first time.
Compared to other Platinum games, it feels like a light version of them.
Yeah.
Very much so.
But I don't think it would have been a good idea for it to be any more complicated, especially coming from the original Nier, which was just like a basic hack and slash.
I really think they could have stacked it and made it more complicated the more you played.
I think there could have been more of an intention to that combat. Like, I feel like there is a lack of design. I feel like they throw you in with a big crowd of enemies and...
Yeah, because it feels like a Musou game sometimes.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
It does feel like a Musou game, and Platinum games aren't Musou games.
Yeah. But it's not a Platinum game, it's a Nier game. Like, the idea is the gameplay serves... Like, I feel the gameplay served what I was told I was as a really powerful android given these clunky, shitty robots. It looked cool, it looked impressive. Maybe it wasn't hard to pull off, but it kind of had the flash that was necessary for... to have.
Okay, and I could have maybe put up with that over 10 hours, but over 30 hours I was like bored to tears with the combat by the end.
Wow, I had a lot of fun with it. I just love running around and jumping that world. Like, I felt cool. Like, 2B's like slide on her like heel kind of thing.
She feels really good, especially when you like run at full pelt.
Yeah, like she's cool. She feels like a murder robot. You feel powerful.
I think the controls in the game feel amazing.
I really like the map of that game. It feels like Legend of Zelda for the N64. It feels like Ocarina of Time, or it feels like Majora's Mask, where it's kind of like a medium-sized world,
Yeah.
but it's quite tiny as well.
Once you start learning where locations are, you kind of run between them so quickly. And
Yeah.
like the map seems so small by that stage.
Because it presents a bigger map, but you realize a lot of that isn't actually places you're going to go. That's just decoration. It's a very, very small game.
Yeah.
I think that
very
game
focused.
gets a lot of praise for its final ending, and I think rightfully so.
Yeah, it's a cool idea.
I think we should just talk about it,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about it. So if you really don't want to be spoiled, now is your chance to do out. But in the last credit sequence, you have to like fight the credits in your little ship. And when I first got to that, I was like, "Fucking, this is what it is." But then when it
They've
gets
done that in Smash Brothers.
yeah, that's been around for years. But then it gets impossibly difficult, and you can accept help from other people, and I thought that was really cool. And when you accept the help, the music swells in this really incredible way. But then you realize that everyone who helped you had to delete their save to do it. And that was amazing. That felt just fucking brilliant.
Because that was a trope in this previous game that you had to delete everything
Yeah. But
in order to like really finish the game.
to turn it into like a selfless act, beautiful.
But that's the story of the characters in the game as well. 2B, 9S, and A2 have to accept finality. They have to accept that there is an end to be human, or to know what it is to be what they assume is human. So even A2, her last line is, "I never quite realized how beautiful this world is." And she could only see, she was so angry, but she could only see the beauty in the world when she finally let herself die for a greater good, kind of thing. And I think going into the credits with that on your heels, where it's about this finality of giving up your save to help the greater good, your story is the story of 2B and 9S and A2, and it just wraps it around really beautifully, that even though it was really sad to see those characters end that way, I put an end to it as well, and it was just very cathartic and beautiful to end it like they ended it.
I wish I had that experience. I really do.
I kind of had it, but it wasn't as fantastical as you had.
Yeah, because everything seems so connected to you for you. It all just seems to flow into you there. To me, it's like a janky hack and slash game that with really cool individual aspects where the connections to the other aspects just don't line up for me. But I still see the ambition, and that's why I'm still cool with it being number one, which it is. It is the number one Let's Fight a Boss Game of the Year 2017.
I'm delighted.
There you go, Niamh.
Fucking asshole.
But John, it means for 2018 we get to
I think Nier is the closest thing to a Shakespearean tragedy that has existence in Shakespeare.
Okay, that's it. We're opening this back up. Fucking down the list it goes.
Persona 5, here we go.
And guys, I guess that's going to do it. If you are still with us, congratulations, and I am so sorry.
This wasn't an act. We are upset.
Very.
We don't like doing this podcast.
No, I think this is it. We're done.
This is the one where we've recorded it, and after we're gonna have to have a talk. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry we fucking play video games.
Let's just go over our final top 5 of 2017, because this has been kind of a crazy year for video games.
Yeah. What a fucking year.
Number 5, we got Evil Within 2.
Fuck yeah.
Number 4, Cuphead.
Fuck yeah.
Number 3, we got Persona 5.
Yay.
Number 2, we got Yakuza 0.
Yo.
Number 1, we got Nier Automata.
Woo!
Yay, Nier.
Yay, Nier.
Congrats, Niamh. I'm so happy for you.
It's been a hell of a year for the podcast as well. It really has. We've been doing this for about 2.5 years.
Yep.
That's fucking crazy.
This is the first year it's felt real.
Yeah, this is the first year where there's more emails we can read and more viewers than we can more listeners than we can put together and make sense of.
Yeah, I really, really love the fun emails we get. I love the life advice emails. That means That means so much to me that someone is wondering what we think of something. We even got like a very good one today that I'm really looking forward to talking about in 2018.
Yeah. And we will probably be back in 2018. But I guess that's going to do it. So guys, listen, have a great time with however you like to spend your holidays. And I'm not sure when we'll be back in the new year, but we will be back at some point.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Keep safe and have a nice time.
I love you.
One July.